Live from Boise, Idaho, the Broncos still angling for a three-peat as conference champs host the Colorado State Rams in a meeting of the Mountain West on the blue. It's time to focus on a great night for football with a terrific backdrop as we welcome you to college football here on FS1. Former college football champ Spencer Tillman. I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for being a part of this broadcast. And boy, the Broncos at 6-4 already bowl eligible, but they have their eye on a bigger prize. They have to win their final two regular season games. Obviously, that starts with tonight, and hope for some help to get in that conference championship game. But back-to-back losses, Spencer, and now they have to lean on a quarterback who's somewhat inexperienced after they lost their starting quarterback 3 games ago.
Well, you nailed it, partner. Less than a calendar year ago, Max Cutworth, albeit preferred, was a walk-on, right? The bottom line is this guy is young, inexperienced, totally inconsistent what the history of this program is all about. He is a systems quarterback. No pejorative there. Fighter's mindset, that's a good thing, right? If the pocket is clean, the read is clean, and you can drive with this quarterback and have success. The bottom line is, will he be pressured? Will they come after him? And will he hold under the pressure?
Yeah, don't talk to Colorado State about quarterbacks. They changed their head coach earlier this year. They're on their 3rd different play caller, 3rd different quarterback. They're starting a quarterback who's actually getting his first start as they try and end a 4-game losing skid.
Yeah, Darius Curry is not going to wow you, Chris, with his size when he gets off. He's barely 5'10", maybe 170 pounds, soaking wet, but the guy is a proven leader to be sure. He's pressed into duty, just like his counterpart today, Max Cutworth, with pressure because of the injury at the quarterback position. The thing I like about him is natural leadership style. He's elusive. He will be able to get the ball down the field despite it. He was a prolific passer in high school, so that's what they're going to be leaning on, but you better believe his youth makes him susceptible to pressure, Chris.
Yeah, they may try and slug it out on the ground with the inexperience at quarterback. Rams won the last meeting, but the Broncos have owned this series. Who will own this November night in Boise? We'll find out soon enough. Albertsons Stadium on senior nights as the Broncos are ready to roll. 50 degrees at kickoff. We'll dip into the low 40s during the game. And no chance of rain here in Boise, Idaho. An important game in the Mountain West. Boise State came in one of 5 teams entering this week with 2 losses, but now 3 after Hawaii lost to UNLV last night. New Mexico playing at Air Force now. Fresno State later tonight against Utah State. And San Diego State, the leader here, they will be on FS1 hosting San Jose State a little bit later. But it's clear for Boise State they'll have to win out and hope for some tie-breaking help, as both of these coaches have had disappointing seasons after the expectations coming in after last year. Tyson Summers replacing Jay Norvell in October to try and right the Rams, and Spencer Danielson hoping to do what he did back in 2023 and pick up the Bronco team and push them forward to the conference championship. Colorado State won the toss. They're going to play defense first. Malik Sherrod. And at the 20-yard line. Wow, big special teams play to get this team going here. And you talked about him, Spencer. Cutworth, a redshirt sophomore, a local guy from Skyline High School here in Idaho. Came off the bench versus Fresno after Maddox Madsen's injury, but then started against San Diego State. And these are the numbers the last couple of weeks, through a couple of interceptions in the loss to Fresno. But he has put up some numbers. And with some running help, and Dylan Riley in the backfield, hopes to have plenty of support. Set to throw, and misfired, had a receiver open. It'll be 2nd down, 10. Cameron Bates was the target.
Yeah, Cameron Bates was just on his back shoulder. Again, Cutworth a little bit excited, comes in, got to get that accuracy under control. And they're going to protect him, Chris, and give him what he needs to do it. An unbalanced line up front. That was impressive. They definitely going to allow this guy to set up and try to win with his arm.
Yeah, Coach Danielson said, looking back, we maybe should have allowed him to throw a little bit more in that San Diego State game. The weather conditions were tough. It was a tough game. Riley, and excellent defense from the Rams right away, bringing up a 3rd down and long. And on the offensive line for the Broncos, he's a guy you'll see in the NFL one day, Cage Casey. the skill position, they really have three running backs. Dylan Riley's going to get most of the work. Latrell Caples with Chris Marshall out, by the way. Marshall leading the team in receiving yards. Caples leading the team in catches.
One of the things these offensive linemen got to do is watch their splits. They're telegraphing, they're pulling, the left guard in particular. Keep an eye on them. They're trying to communicate. That's all fine and well, but they've got disparate splits between those guards right now.
Cut forth to throw, and open. It's Caples with a first down across the 35-yard line.
That's on the mark right there. It didn't take him long to find that inside slot receiver, Latrell Caples, number 3. About 6 foot, 195 pounds. He's a big target, Chris, and he nails it right. His eyes flash off the field and puts it on that inside shoulder away from the inside coverage.
7 catches last week for Caples, and a pickup of 13. Malik Sherrod is coming at running back. He gets the football, trying to find a hole, but it's sealed off in a hurry. Stopped around the 37-yard line of Boise. On the defensive side, and they've been a very good team in the secondary. There's a number of key players for Colorado State, but linebacker Owen Long is a story. Voted as a team captain at age 19. He's 20 years old now. Leads the team in tackles, leads the country in tackles, averaging over 12 a game.
Clearly expecting pass here, Chris, with just a 3-man front.
Cut forth, well protected, middle of the field, open again. At the 47-yard line is Latrell Caples into Ram territory.
Now, Jace Bella, number 12, the free safety, is back there defending. But I'm telling you what, quarterback going pace and tempo here. They're going to go quick on us, guys. Bottom line is he found a hole there immediately. Outstanding job of adjusting.
And interesting that they came out despite the inexperience of Cutforth. They said, you know, Spencer Danielson, we got to give the guy a chance to throw, and that's what they're doing, and especially Colorado State, I think, plugging up the run early, spotted right at the 45-yard line.
That's a tough spot, though, right, Chris? You got to balance that out. You know, young quarterback, the bottom line is you don't want to throw him out there and then discourage him, get his dauber down if he incompletes a couple of them. Daniels got to really balance this out for him.
Riley, and stopped again at the 42-yard line. J.C. Bella made the tackle, redshirt freshman from Pueblo, Colorado.
I got a great feeling from Spencer Danielson, the head coach. He's in kind of a no man's land, the bottom line is. But you know what? He feels comfortable in this situation. I think he's well equipped to manage this kind of descent that they have right now inside.
The 30 with a first down. Sire Gaines, who had come in. So we've seen Dylan Riley, Malik Sherrod, and Sire Gaines, and that's what we're going to see through much of this game, the three-pronged attack.
And Chris, I like the way Nate Potter, the offensive coordinator, is painting the field here, going from left to right, putting some split flow stuff in there as well, trying to keep them honest.
Yeah, that painted field has been blue, and with the blue uniforms, tough to track as Sire Gaines all the way inside the 20. Down to around the 18-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Broncos. And they're going up tempo again.
Yeah, Chris, the guy that plays that money position, Owen Long, you mentioned him a minute ago, had a shot, but he just misses this one. Once again, pace and tempo, a tactical advantage here, Broncos.
Gaines is hot, carries it inside the 15. Again, it's J.C. Bella making the tackle.
This is just surgery right here. This first drive is indicative of what we'll see the remainder of the day. This is going to be a good day for Boise State. I think you got to match that energy with another quarterback this inexperienced as well. We'll see if they can pull that off.
And especially at home, getting out in front against a visiting team with an inexperienced quarterback. It's Chase Henry dancing around. Now goes to the top of your screen on 2nd and 6. And straight ahead. Riley cut to the right and all the way down around the 7, close to another first down. And he got it.
Well, I'll tell you, Chris, number 24, Dylan Riley, has a nice little swivel in his hips and a subtle move. I want you to watch him from the inside zone read. He just gives it to him. Watch this move here. Boom. The little dip makes the guy miss. And that's your guy, Owen Long, again, playing the money position out there. You got a couple other guys. Jacob Ellis in there as well. Ellis trying to make a tackle. But Riley says, hey, man, I got wiggle.
Came in averaging over 6.5 yards a carry. First and goal. Riley, this time inside the 5, is slowed down.
That's a good solid run right there. Now let's see how they navigate in the green zone. They've worked their way all the way down the field, Chris. Now we're seeing another aspect of what they've needed to work on, scoring inside this place. Points have been very difficult to come by for this offense in the games that they've lost.
Nearly a 6-minute opening drive for this Boise State offense. 13th play here coming up. Cut forth for the end zone. Oh, and a little bit too much on it. He had Matt Lauder, the tight end, wide open. It'll be 3rd and goal.
I'll tell you, that shallow crossing route from the right side, leaking him out late, giving you a little blocking faux action. He comes as the tight end on the backside of it. Watch him come across the formation, Chris. Does a wonderful job of reaching out. Just got a little bit too much on that ball. Choked him over a little bit, and that tight end catches that one.
3 tight ends in on 3rd and goal. And Sire Gaines is back in at running back. Gaines has it. Gaines for a Boise State touchdown. What an opening drive by the Broncos.
That's too tough. Jake Jamalovich, the safety, the opposite safety, comes and has a shot at him, Chris. Watch him, number 13, on the little counter action. I absolutely love this play. You get them flowing one way, and then he counters and comes back the opposite way. Excellent execution to pay it off. A little dance, too. That's
yeah, as the kids say, a little silly with the tutty, right? As Colton Boomer comes on for the extra point. And nails it. Gaines, they called him the big bruiser. He found the end zone. A well-articulated drive by the young quarterback. Thanks for being with us. College football at FS1, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. And what a drive. Cut for 3 out of 5, 41 yards. Good balance in that drive.
Yeah, 3 and 9. You know, I love that. And typically what you see from Boise State, Chris, is just the opposite. They're going to major on their run game to establish it. But as you and I talked about in the break, they flipped the script, right? Used the pass to set up the run, and it accented it exceptionally well in that opening drive.
Spencer Tillman, Chris Myers, enjoying a little Mountain West here in Boise, and the kick. Chance for the Rams to respond, and they won't. Into the end zone for a touchback, and we'll see first career start, the redshirt freshman from Long Beach, California. Darius Curry saw a majority of quarterback action in last week's loss at New Mexico, although he did not start. But see the numbers, 248 passes, couple of touchdowns. That's impressive, but he did suffer 3 interceptions. Yeah,
and the thing about it is everybody's going to be looking at his size. I'm telling you, maybe he's 5'10". He reminds me in terms of height, stature, of Jamel Holloway. When he came in spot for Troy Aikman, it was a totally different situation, though.
Pass is incomplete for Javion Kennard. Yeah, referencing Holloway back in the Oklahoma Sooner days. That's before Aikman went on to UCLA. And here's the offensive line has been beat up. You got Philip Ocon, so he's the 3rd different center. Again, we mentioned working with the 3rd different quarterback and 3rd different play caller for this Ram offense. And they lost Jalen Dupree. He was hurt, their leading rusher. Then he is headed to the portal. So Lloyd Avant will have to pick up the slack. Pass is caught at the 32, going out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
That's your boy Rocky Beers there. I'm telling you, that ball was placed right on the spot, Chris. And there's an example of a guy who's only 5'10", but watch him settle in that pocket like he's quite at home. Step open front, and then the ball is just a laser shot to the outside. That tight end didn't have to stretch for that, Chris. It was right on the spot where it needed to be.
Justin Marshall and Javion Kennard are both in the backfield with Darius Curry. 3rd and 2. And fighting to get it, Justin Marshall.
Number 20 is Justin Marshall. He carries.
Boise State on defense, a couple of outstanding players, including Max Steege up front. In the secondary, McCoy, the great corner, season-ending surgery, but Ty Benefield is back there to lead the bunch. Pass is thrown. Nice snag by that, but he can't get away. It's Kennard. He may lose yardage. In fact, he will. Notriani, team captain, wears the green dot. He made the tackle there. That's Marco Notriani, but it looks like a flag down.
And Chris, just an aside there, it is a flag.
Personal
the bottom
foul,
line is
face mask, number 0, defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
I just mentioned Ty Benefield. He likes to go by Buck Benefield.
Buck had a little bad luck there on that play.
Buck, yeah, and our referee is Cal McNeil, but that will really help this Colorado State offense. And Darius Curry, who's got some jets there, he can run around a little bit, mobile in the sense of being able to escape and set up the throw. But a first down across midfield. He's got it. And he'll spin forward. Not sure if that was designed. Notriani again on the tackle. Second on the team in tackles coming into this game.
Well, the fact that he's so small, he's going to be able to make you miss. And Virgin Morgan and those guys that are up front better understand that this guy can have those subtle moves that can make you miss in space. Rely on the guys leverage that are beside you in that same proximity, because he will make the first guy miss if he has to run.
Justin Marshall, redshirt sophomore from Chicago, is the back. To throw.
Pressure.
If he can, he's going to take off and run and get out of bounds at the 45 of Boise State is Darius Curry.
Now, Zion Washington was there to kind of defend on the back end for Eric Chenander, defensive coordinator for Boise State, Chris. I think they're going to pressure him because his mobility is going to be a problem if they don't find a way to do that.
He picked up about 4.5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. Need to get to the 39 for a first down. Avant and Marshall in the backfield. Curry dumps it off and has a blocker out in front. Avant will have a first down to around the 31-yard line and a flag down back at the 49-yard line of Colorado State.
And Chris, I think they're going to get Braxton Feely coming in, that right tackle, defensive tackle. He comes with the hands to the face in the area. So let's see if it's number 90.
Feely, the leading sacker on this point.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90, defense. 15 yards add to the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, he's got 5 sacks, and he just wanted to get the quarterback to think about what may be coming the rest of the night, but the penalty flag thrown.
Yeah, the hands high to the head. You can see it there. And again, you know, it was more like a push, though, man. I'm not so sure. I'm not going to split hairs, but I think the bigger story here is the significant yardage on this drive is gained by 2 penalties on the part of Boise State. The Rams benefactors of that, Chris.
Yeah, 30 yards of penalties have benefited from the 15. Curry has it, throws high, a one-handed grab inside the 5. Levon Brown hauls that in, and a perfect lead throw with some zip on it by Curry.
Holy cow, Chris, look at this one-handed catch. Levon Brown is about 6 foot, 195, redshirt sophomore from Sierra Canyon. Watch him go, keep his eyes focused on the ball, knowing it's zone coverage on the outside. A defender's waiting to hit him, but he has the composure to hang on, Chris.
For the end zone, catch made, reaching across, Rocky Beers, and touchdown, Rams. An impressive drive to respond, and Darius Curry, the young quarterbacks, showing a little moxie here in this opening quarter.
And Chris, I think Rocky Beers is right there. Maybe that touchdown with that one, he ties the program for career touchdown numbers, or he's close to it on the doorstep if he didn't tie it.
Ties the record of 6 for Colorado State tight ends. Trey McBride, famous tight end, does not have that. 4 other players do, so one more and he will set the school record. Great names from the Rocky Mountain State. Rocky Beers delivers in Idaho for Colorado State. Thanksgiving Day on Fox. Two iconic programs tip off in a top 25 showdown as Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans take on freshman standout Caleb Wilson in North Carolina. It begins 4:30 Eastern on Fox. A 7-7 game, just under 5.5 remaining here in this opening quarter. You a little surprised, Spencer, that talking about the youth of the quarterbacks, but these offenses are aggressive with them.
Yeah, especially Grant Chestnut. He's an old offensive lineman, and he's coming out throwing the ball. He typically is going to try to establish the run, Chris. On that standpoint, I am surprised.
Sherrod on the return and stopped short at the 23-yard line.
And then alternately Nate Potter coming back, Max Cutforth. We saw what he did after he settled down after the errant pass off the top. He really found his way as well.
Time for today's home team stats, sponsored by Wayfair. Every style, every home, and boy, when they are at home, and the blue has been good to Boise State. Look at this season, the big difference. They've either had 40 or in their 4 losses, they've only scored 7 points. You see the average and the turnover margin, big differences here. And they hope to keep the home record rolling in the blue unis where they've been outstanding. Riley carries and a surge forward.
Now, look, I like what I'm seeing right now, coming back playing a little chess, right? You move the ball effectively down the field. Now you've established that your young, inexperienced quarterback can throw it.
Riley splits out as a receiver and up to about the 30-yard line as he hauls that in. Came in with 10 catches from Moreno Valley, California. He's 176 yards short of 1,000, at least coming into this game, third in the Mountain West.
Riley working out of a quad triangle formation right there. I really like the creativity there. Getting the ball in the hands of your best runner, in that particular case, Dylan Riley, in that little triangle. We're familiar with the bunch, but they created a diamond out of that, Chris, by putting the running back in there.
And he stays in on 3rd and 3. Capel's moving around. He's already had a couple of big catches. They're going to throw or try to, and sacked. Cutforth was rolling out, trying to deliver the football, but brought down by the Colorado State defense.
Paul Tangelo in there, number 52. He's the guy that came in, man, from that jack position. Watch him inside. He's lined up, standing up, right over the nose. He puts a nice little arm shiver in there and gets right past. That was Zach Holmes. He got past number 72. Tangelo is a wonderful asset for them, playing close around the line of scrimmage, trying to make a play.
For Tangelo, his 2nd sack of the season. Kennard backing up and on the punt inside his own 25 and picks up about 2 or 3, brought down around the 28-yard line. Timeout on the game here with Colorado State. Defense did its job. We'll check on the Rams offense that took their first possession in for a touchdown. Darius Curry first start, 4 out of 5 in that opening drive, and he ran it twice.
Absolutely. The thing I like about this, the net confidence comes from demonstrated ability, and he showed you. And he got a little help along the way. LeBron Brown with the mitts for their glove, and then the tight end shows some nice handiwork around the end. So any question about this guy's height and whether or not he can throw it? Chris eliminated on that opening drive.
A couple of major penalties helped the drive. After a 56-yard punt, Lloyd Avant carries and didn't get much. Worth mentioning, Max Stiege from Germany, making very international flavor, by the way, to this Boise State team, making the stop. Worth mentioning, Justin Marshall, one of the running backs for the Rams, headed to the locker room, so they're a little thin back there. After a loss of 1. Curry to throw, and overthrown slightly at the 41-yard line. And an open receiver that he could not connect with. That's Tommy Maher.
You know, Tommy, a nice little nod route at the end of that. He was wide open. The coverage just broke down, and they were in man coverage. And Curry probably is wishing he had that one again, just to wait, just to bump, to allow him to get out of that break and be clean and deliver that ball. 4 cross look here, Chris, in the back. That's expecting a pass all the way.
And that's what Curry's going to do. And into some traffic caught by Lanier. but well short, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the punting unit for Colorado State.
That's great defense right there. Eric Chenander getting in that 4-cross concept. Basically what it does, it allows you to get into a cover 2 shell, Chris, if you want to, or if you want to be more aggressive, it covers your back so that you can get one of those hybrid guys in there to create pressure and mix it up and muddy up that line for the protection. That's an excellent job by Eric Chenander, the defensive coordinator.
And it worked well for the Broncos. Both defenses tighten up after the opening drive, and that will roll and be down and around the 21-yard line. Each offense marches in for the score, and then each defense stops the offense. Boise State with the ball in a moment. Tied at 7, just a correction. That punt was just 32 yards. It actually hit one of the Colorado State players, spotted at the 38. Hey, the last time these two teams played in Fort Collins, Colorado State surged with 3 touchdowns. They had to rally and a Hail Mary at the end, and then there was an unsportsmanlike conduct, but they backed up the point after, still made it good, and a 31-30 win. But Boise State leads the series 12-1.
And that loss created a whole inflection point that changed the program. In fact, that's how Spencer Danielson got the gig.
To throw down the middle and a little long, trying to get to Cameron Bates. But I'll tell you, Max Cutforth showing off a little arm strength.
Yep, and Lamondre Joe was there in his hip pocket too. Great arm strength from the quarterback, but the back end defense, Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinators, guys really stepping up big time for them. They need to be able to do it because they've shown some vulnerability to the pass. And if you look at it, one of the things that they can do, talking about the Broncos now, is throw the ball. Even though we haven't seen a lot of it, they can be efficient when they do it, taking shots big time.
Pass to Caples, he's got it, and pulls out. He fumbles, and the Rams are on it at their own 49-yard line.
That's so difficult. Jake Morolovich was in coverage there. Number 13 had a chance to get after him. The ball comes flying out.
Lamondre Joe is the one who ended up recovering it.
Well, look, it's sandwiched in between 3 defenders right there. The bottom line is the ball is out. Now you've turned it over at midfield, and both these teams have shown an aptitude for being able to move the ball. It's ball security going to be primary.
First turnover of the game, and a big one. It was going to be a big gainer. Cutforth discussing things, but certainly he's done his part in the early going. Another takeaway for the Ram defense. Pass is caught, and slipping a tackle, Lloyd Avant. And then going out of bounds. It's now 16 takeaways for the Colorado State defense.
Yeah, Jaden Mickey, number 20. They're going to go pace and tempo here. Had a chance to make a tackle that would have been very much needed.
Nowhere to go for Avant straight ahead. From Humboldt, Texas. Sophomore had 3 different games last week, including a touchdown. He had 12 carries for 36 yards.
Just up the road from Houston, up in Humboldt. Spent a lot of time up there watching this kid play in high school. Great player. Pressure on the twist.
3rd and 4. Floating one a little too strong. The coverage was good. Tommy Maher was the target. He's the team's leading receiver. Jaden Mickey on the coverage.
Yeah, the coverage was great, but I think what made the coverage was the pressure. You can see everybody's locked up in man, right? A little switch route underneath to try to get a natural rub there, but the free safety playing in coverage on the back end is what allowed them to have bodies all over it. Great defensive series there.
Both of the quarterbacks, you talk about adjustments in a game as Brian Hansen comes on to punt the ball. Defenses have adjusted to their hot hand, and this will be a roller.
Oh, heads up.
And inside the 5, and what a kick, and great special teams. I mean, a whole herd of rams. I don't know, what would you call it? But is it a herd? That's buffalo. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
A group of rams gathering there.
That looked like your pitching wig to put that ball down. That was pretty good.
A little bump and run. They're going to spot that. Is that inside the 2-yard line?
Oh, nice.
And look, he just gave you the little golf swing. He's seen you play. All right, so don't blame Cutforth. He completed the pass, and then the fumble on the other end. 5 out of 8 so far. Checking on the plays, working the huddle, and both of these quarterbacks have shown great command of their offenses. Sire Gaines is in. He had the touchdown run for Boise State.
Nice.
And big hole, closed in a hurry, but he got out of that deep hole.
I'll tell you what, Chris, with the big, if Bella's not there, that's an unbalanced look. He hits his head on the goalpost on the other side. Everybody's up in the line of scrimmage. That's a natural soft spot right there, and he's going to the house, and Bella's not there to stop him.
J.C. Bella's been all over the place in this opening quarter for the Colorado State defense. Back to Gaines, and Gaines is loose. And a first down up near the 25. They're going to spot him out at the 24-yard line. But that's the way to dig yourself out of some trouble.
Well, Sire Gaines, man, looking like Secretariat running through there, man. He comes to stepping, and watch him break the tackles. 2 tackles there. He breaks on the other end. Love that fact that he's understanding where he is, carrying that ball on the outside shoulder, the furthermost to the sideline to protect it.
Coming off the best Mountain West game of the season with 78 rush yards.
Nice
again. Look at this move.
Oh, my God.
Near the 40.
Chris, this guy's got something special. He's a darter. He darts the way watch him, the way he runs. He comes in on the ISO. It's another split full play, so you've frozen the linebackers, and he just dips in and bounces it outside. I love this running back room for the Broncos. Boy, outstanding.
That's the end of the opening quarter here in Boise, Idaho. Underdog Colorado State hanging with the Broncos, but in a tie game, Boise on the move. Dressed for the occasion on this Saturday night as we welcome you back to college football on FS1, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. And this is a good one. We've enjoyed ourselves hanging out this weekend. Look at the numbers in just one quarter on Sire Gaines. 57 yards and that score. And this time, maybe to the 40. Tuatelli making the tackle.
Tuatelli anchored himself so solidly up in the outside position. He's a defensive end, and they'll move him around a little bit. This is a pure 4-man front that they'll get into. And along with Bella here, these guys are really defending extremely well. He had an outstanding day.
7 tackles already for J.C. Bella, and it was just one day he was told he was put on scholarship. Congratulations to him. Hard work and hustle paying off. Riley in at running back. The throw is caught, and diving is Latrell Caples toward that first down marker.
I think they may end up giving it to him. I thought he was a little bit
short. Completed pass for a first down.
Maybe it's on the skirt, but he's going to move the chains.
And he got it. The 6-year senior. 4th catch of the night for him already.
Well, this 4th one, he uses the right hand, and that's probably what removed all the doubt. You know, sometimes if it's the left hand, it's closer to the sideline. You may miss it by a foot. That's high engagement right there, Chris.
Impressive, over 130 yards.
They're going to look at this, huh?
Make sure.
We're on the field. The receiver completed the pass, made the line to gain. That plays under further review.
Yeah, and I think they're going to find is that right hand is what made the difference. If it had been in his left hand, he probably would have missed it by half a foot.
Yeah, let's take another look at this. He's about 6 feet, but he's got long arms.
Yeah, but the presence to move that ball from the sideline hand to the right hand.
Wow.
I think that's everything, Chris. That's high engagement level. That's what I'm talking about, and I'm glad we have a chance to take a second look at it. He literally takes the ball out of the near hand, which you would typically want it there to protect it from being stripped away. But he's saying, no, I've got the ball protected. I want to get the first down. That's high engagement.
That extension and leap, I mean, it covered 3 yards. I mean,
my
it was
God.
like an NBA player going through the lane. They'll take a closer look. Remember, on the field ruled a first down. By the way, the Colorado State defense earlier recovered a fumble here of Caples, but they had 4 fumble recoveries last week. And so that's something they live on, as we talked about the number of takeaways. Otherwise, Boise might have more on the board.
Well, the takeaways have been hard to come by in this struggling season for both teams, and I think that's something that they're trying to overcome. And the only way you do it, Chris, they tend to go in bunches, is to be as active as you possibly can, and then you'll get the turnovers.
Under official review here in the second quarter. An important game for 6-4 Boise State.
At the review, the receiver completed the catch, left out of bounds at the 47.5-yard line. The ball be placed at that spot, short of the first down. Third down. The clock will start on my ready.
Now that's interesting because we were looking at the hands, preoccupied by it. So, and maybe the feet is what we missed. He said he stepped out of bounds, is what the official said. Clearly the hands, to me, were past the sticks, but the foot apparently was not in bounds.
And when he started his leap, it certainly looked like he was in bounds. And then heading through the air, out of bounds, but he didn't land until it looked like the ball was at that mark. But important opportunity for the Ram defense. 2 tight ends come in for Boise as they need a yard, and Sire Gaines is the back. He has it, and he's got the first down across midfield.
You can almost book it, man. Boise State, doesn't matter what kind of problems they have. They're going to pull it in to a close formation, bring those tight ends in, and just go get that 1 yard. That's the culture here. It's always been there all the way back to the Chris Peterson days, man. When they need a yard, the culture says we're going to go get that 1 yard.
We'll hear from Chris Peterson and the crew at the half here. Gaines remains the back. This is when they cross midfield. They sometimes say, hey, we're thinking going on all 4 downs if we need to. And powering forward. Boy, the big bruiser taking some people with him to about the 45-yard line.
Dylan Matoya, the right tackle, does a nice job, but so does the defenders up front. I think that was Paul Pengelo, number 52, was in there as well, coming off of that block. And then just doing a wonderful job of just sealing that and minimizing the damage. But Dylan Matoya was the guy that was blocking for him.
They're a top 5 rushing team. Malik Sherrod comes in. At least they have that chance from the 45.
Oh, nice.
And on his way inside the 25-yard line. Sherrod. Boy, they got 3 backs. It's like a 1-2-3 punch.
Watch Austin Terry here, the tight end, come from the offside right here on the opposite side, and then trap block inside. 52 Tenangelo, guy's been working, trapped him out, got him out of the picture so that he could make that play. It's an unbelievable effort by a tight end going against a bigger guy.
Sherrod from Oxnard, California, came to Boise in 25 after 5 seasons at Fresno State, the rival. And the throw cut forth. Got him! Knocked out of bounds inside the 5. Matt Lauder. And it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Broncos.
Well, I'll tell you what, these tight ends integral to this drive. And one of the things that Nate Potter is doing is mixing this up. Getting it in the throw game on the initial drive. Still doing it, but working with a different group. Tight ends primarily.
Cutforth has been delivering and putting some zip on it. 20-yard pickup. Sherrod the back, extra lineman in. Look at this formation.
How about this? Power eye.
And
nice.
For the touchdown, Malik Sherrod. A 98-yard drive.
Chris, the offensive coordinator, Nate Potter's done some wonderful things here on this drive. That extra guy, that's 1, 2, 3 guys. That's not a pistol. That's an inverted wishbone in an I formation. And when you have that extra guy there, it freezes those linebackers. 2 of them are part of your assignment if you're defending. And if those 2 go and there's 1 remaining, what do you do with them? It's confusing.
Known for his kickoff return work, Sherrod does a lot more. And Boomer with the extra point. Boy, they started with Dylan Riley, mixing some Sire Gaines, and now time for Malik Sherrod. And Boise State with a 7-point lead. Good game going in the Mountain West here in Idaho. That scoring drive all the way from their own 2-yard line. 186 total yards of offense so far in this game, but they take up 4.5 minutes, mixing up the run and the throw. Both of these teams appear really prepared in this game.
I think this is a big game. I really do, because of the struggles these teams have had. I think it was the late the NC State great wide receiver Torrey Holt, former Ram during the great days. He's the one that coined that phrase, big days, big plays. And that's what these players are doing right now. The coaches are doing an excellent job of responding to the success of the other team.
Defending champs of the Mountain West at 6-4, Boise State needing to win their final 2 regular season games, leaning on their defense, their pass defense, like look 5th at best at college football with what they allow. And the last 2 games, lowest in Mountain West history, they held the San Diego State, of course it was raining, but 17 yards through the air, even though they lost that game. But Curry has stood up to him so far. And
I think even when you go and expect that, you look at the quality of the teams that they were facing, it holds up. They've been pretty good on the back end, Chris.
And here goes Curry, winds up and fires to the 31. Marr couldn't hold on.
Jeremiah Irby here, right cornerback, was the guy defending on that backside, and Irby just did a wonderful job of squeezing on the short side of the field.
Yeah, good example of that pass.
Absolutely. Again, that ball's punched out by the right hand, and Irby's the one that did it. He understands it. He's the old Peanut Tillman, punch it out from the back. The Chicago Bears, man, that's a big-time play right there.
Marion McCoy had played through some knee pain, a future NFL star, great corner with that surgery that we mentioned, so out for now. Curry, pressure coming, and they got him. Flags fly as he is sacked at the 15-yard line. There was kind of a delay blitz. Max Steege got there.
And they're going to sort this out. I think what made this play not work is they kind of unpack.
Personal foul, face mask, number 19 to the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down. Number 3 does not have to leave the game because his helmet came off due to the foul.
What Grant Chestnut, the offensive coordinator for the Rams, has got to do is understand that those long developing plays isn't going to work against a more aggressive defense. And here you can see the hands to the face right there. That's Washington. Number 19 gets those hands up, man, around the face. That's problematic. They're going to get you every time. Deion Washington, number 19, the senior transfer from Shadow Ridge.
Third 15-yard penalty against Boise State. See if the Rams take advantage. Incomplete. Brown the target. Last couple of games, LeVon Brown has played some of his best football, according to the coaching staff.
Well, these guys are here again facing man coverage underneath, and it's when we say man coverage, that implies that there's nobody else around, and if you can make that play and catch it in stride, Chris, you can still be running for a while.
Yeah, it almost looked like he wasn't quite ready for that, or expecting it. Curry will dump this off in a hurry. Kennard, and inside the 45-yard line, or excuse me, beyond the 45, their own 45. It'll bring up a third down. Under 11 minutes to go before the half.
Solid tackle by Deion Washington. He's the guy that's their boundary safety. And so you say, what's a boundary safety? Well, when you're on the short side of the field, that's the short side, that's the boundary. The field safety usually is going to be a little bit more athletic because he has more ground that he must cover. So typically it also means that corner guy is more physical on the short side.
Need to get to midfield for the first. Deep drop Curry. He's going to run for time, and on the run throw, and knocked away. Jaden Mickey with another big defensive play from that nickel spot.
Yeah, and Bourne Phelps, too, was in hot pursuit from that Mike linebacker position as well. Number 41, the sophomore, he was in his hip pocket, man. He was all over him.
Tommy Maher again was the target.
Holding, number 20, defense. 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Well, I said Mickey played good defense.
Yeah.
Too good.
Snake bit him.
Got dead clock.
Cal McNeil says that's defensive holding, and that's the 4th big penalty. I mean, these are big chunks of yardage that keep the Rams drives alive.
Yep, and that will be the coaching point. When they go in the middle eight, get to those 4 minutes before the half, Chris, that's what they've got to fix.
Curry going deep, going for it all, and intercepted at the 11-yard line by Jeremiah Irby.
Well, what a series, Chris, he's had. The punch out back down the field, following that up a couple of plays later with the interception. The route out on the field. You got pressure, the twins formation, and a wheel route by the back. So you got guys that are out there. Kennard, the ball is placed a little bit shorter than it should have been, first of all. Oh, man, that's a big-time play.
Takeaway for the Broncos. Irby with his 3rd interception this season. One of those rituals, defensive players.
Man, that's weird, brother. The skull thing, hanging it up there. I know it's an interception, clearly, but I'm not quite sure what that stands for, Chris.
Look at they're ready to go. You talked about that. They might have a little boxing feel to it.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Cutforth is doing his part, as a chance here with Dylan Riley in the backfield to move them upfield from the 10. And Riley will pick up about 3. Boise State has not played a one-score game this year. In fact, 7 of the 10 games have been decided by 20 points that they've been involved in. 3 of the 4 losses and then 4 of the 6 wins. So at home, averaging 40 points. We showed you earlier with that 4-1 record this season.
Well, the fact pattern here so far is if they continue with this pace of scoring points, this is a W for them, right? Obviously, the Rams have something to say about that, but got to like what you see from them.
Cutforth with plenty of time, and the catch coming back at the 20 was Caples. We'll check the spot. It looked like where he first caught it. Yes, good enough for the first down right at the 20-yard line.
And watch the interior line here on an inside game open up this throwing lane, Chris. Number 48 goes and see that wide open lane just opened up. Sometimes when you're gaming and dealing, you're trying to get to the quarterback, but you do it to the point where you actually counterproductive and you open up throwing lane for the quarterback. So when you replace and you go on that game and deal, you better get back in that lane.
Riley. Not much happening there. Again, J.C. Bella plugging the hole and shoving him back.
Well, they're living true to their names. They're Ram, man. They're butting those heads up there big time.
Well, they started 48 different players on that Colorado State, each side of the ball, 24 different guys on each side, whether it's injury or other factors. There's, Caples, who came in 30 catches for the 3rd straight season for the Broncos. He's already got 5 catches on 5 targets. Cutforth deep and overthrown. Cameron Bates. They've tried a few deep ones with the speedy Cameron Bates, but have yet to connect.
Well, Chris, I will say this. I'm not surprised that this defense is playing at a high level with Tyson Summers. He is a defensive guy, right? He's just a second tour duty. He's been around them. They know. And so teams tend to take on the personality of their coaches. So in control of the defense, the head coach, familiarity with the program has been there before. They're playing at a high level. That should be expected.
Yeah, and on that deep throw, not only the defense, but Cutforth 0 for 7 when he's tried to complete a pass for over 20 yards in his limited time of play this year. Again, his 2nd start tonight. Catch. Yeah, traffic moving up for the first down across the 31-yard line. Chase Henry, senior from Denver.
And I thought Jake Jamalovich had that one, number 13. Thought he had a chance, but that ball squeezed right in there. He didn't even see it come into play. And when you're going to hit those quick hitting slant routes, well, you better get it in there quick, because those defenders are playing both the player and the receiver, and they've got eyes on the quarterback. Great execution.
Cutforth, he has a live arm, boy. He has been zipping it. Sherrod in at running back. Cutforth again completes across the 41-yard line, just short of the first down. Matt Wagner, one of the tight ends. See Matt Lauder have a big catch earlier.
You know, another inside game here with the guys up front twisting. Here's your release of your tight end. And what makes this all possible is those defenders moving up front. Tight end secures the ball properly. That's a wonderful job of just making sure their body's all around you. You got to make sure that ball is secure.
Numbers on Cutforth. Good looking drive here after the takeaway, the interception by Irby.
Here comes a blitz off the edge.
And there's a hole. Good enough for the first down, Sherrod. But some hard hits, you could hear that way up here.
Boy, I'm telling you, that was Jerry Naborn Owens. Jerry came in there. He usually plays the jack position. He's a backup. But listen to this. Boy, he hit him like he stole something, man. That was a big-time hit right there.
Roger Carrion seems to be okay. A little slow getting up. Just over 6.5 as they help him to the sideline here.
Clock operator, please put 6:52 on the clock.
Carson Rasmussen will come in at the right guard spot for number 62, Carrion. Cutforth, the first Idaho native to start a quarterback for Boise State since 1992. Remember Travis Stewart from Meridian?
Yep, and these running backs have really helped them along the way, again, behind that big, massive offensive line, and they've shown a little mix between all of them, right? The thing we talked about, Dylan Riley, we knew him, but Sire Gaines, man, has shown me some suddenness and explosiveness that takes him to another level. This running back room, this trio, impressive.
Riley is in now. Cutforth rolling with time and going deep again and open. He's got it. Finally connecting with Cameron Bates. Well done.
Yeah, we talked about Cameron Bates, but watch number 25, the inside receiver, Chris. The go route. There's a busted assignment on the back end. He's just meandering right down the hash, totally wide open on the back end, and just totally missed him.
7 of his 10 catches this season had come in the last 5 games. And it's his first today, and a gainer of 40+ yards.
Quentin Brown is saying, man, you had me wide open.
Well, we got some movement and a flag, and a play that is knocked away on the end zone. It was a free play. Bates again the target. Carrion, by the way, back out there. Rogers on the coverage.
Offsides, defense, number 91. Half the distance to go. Correction, 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's the first penalty on Colorado State. 4, and they were 4 big ones against Boise.
Sometimes those big defensive linemen, man, when they get leaning forward, it's hard for them to pull back.
Dylan Riley has it, tackled low right away to about the 6.5-yard line. Robert Edmondson making the play. One of the reserves from Houston, Texas.
I'll tell you, Robert playing really stiff and hard inside that lineup. If the linebacker position is a classic Mike, sometimes we call it a Mac position, but those inside guys, man, run heavy, along with Jacob Ellis and company, Jaheim Mitchell. All of them are outstanding.
Back to Riley, trying to get inside the 5, but there's a wall of Rams. They have mixed all 3 running backs in, as you just pointed out. I mean, Gaines has a touchdown, Sherrod has a touchdown, and I think maybe the coaching staff over there for Boise State thinking it's Riley's turn.
Yep. Well, let's see what Nate Potter has in his bag of tricks in terms of being able to get over there, and then alternately Tyson Summers got to find a way to stop him.
Riley has the most carries of the 3 backs with 10. 3rd and a yard for a first down.
Got him on that Boise State offensive line, movement, interior line. Just watch the wiggle right here.
False start, number 62, offense.
Carry on.
5-yard penalty, main 3rd down.
Yeah, I mentioned he had just come back in after having to leave for a play. Toughing it out. And now on a 3rd and 6 from just outside the 10-yard line. Already a 7-point lead.
You know, Chris, when you come down here, first of all, you know that 1/3 of your playbook goes out the window, right? And a premium is placed on execution down here.
To throw, Cutforth completes, but an excellent tackle right away by DeAndre Gill Jr. on Riley. And the field goal unit is on its way out to try and extend the lead.
Well, I tell you, 39 just did a wonderful job defensively on that play. Working from the defensive end alignment. Watch him. DeAndre Gill Jr. Textbook tackle right here to save.
Yeah, coming off the best game of his career. It was last week. He had committed to UCLA, but had an opportunity to play here from Seattle, Washington, and Kentwood. Field goal is good. 27 yards away. They march from their own 10 after the interception. Do the Broncos stall, but pick up 3. Beautiful night in Idaho. It's been a mild autumn in these parts with Spencer Tillman, our crew, Chris Myers. Thanks for being with us. Temperature has dipped into the mid-40s at a 10-point lead for the hometown team. They have dominated on the ground. Broncos have run for 113 yards compared to just 8 for Colorado State. And 40 offensive plays for Boise State, only 18 for the Rams.
And it translates into a time of possession imbalance, which means they're stealing possession. As inspired of defensive play as we've seen the Rams, they need the ball in the hands of that quarterback who on the first drive showed us he's able to produce yards and points.
And another touchback. Darius Curry will come out to lead the offense. They've hung in there. Oh, and there's Blitz. The Lab who grabs the tee and is headed into retirement, at least from that role. We'll talk more about that. That's usually kind of a fourth quarter tradition, but handing off to a relative. Stay tuned for that story. You get everything here on Saturday night.
Keep it in the family, man.
Curry with a block. Looked like the ball came out at the 45-yard line. And Irby, who had the interception a moment ago.
Moving on the field is a fumble by the offense, recovered by the defense. First down, Boise State.
Jeremiah Irby comes up with the fumble recovery.
Boy, there's a kid named Bullock who had a wonderful game as a pro for the Houston Texans. This guy looks like he's playing like that at the next level. He is affected and twice now on turnover scenarios. Irby pulls it out. Once again, we saw him punch one out vis-a-vis the right arm. And so this kid right here is a turnover machine. He's a difference maker right here, Chris.
Yeah, Jaden Mickey caused it. And Irby came up with it. But it was the right kind of play call, at least for the Ram offense. Just couldn't hang on to the ball. 2 takeaways now for Boise State's defense. Do they grind it out? No, they're going to throw the ball and throw it again. And a little bit long, but a one-handed grab by Matt Wagner. Cameron Bates caught the initial toss from Cutforth, and then look at this catch.
Yeah, Jace Bala is back there, but he's not a factor there. If that ball is really kept in front of him, I'm not saying he get extra yards, but he gets a little bit more.
Gaines, quick snap and back to the running game as Sire Gaines gets inside the 25-yard line and the clock runs.
Well, I say Boise State wasted no time trying to punch this in, and this is the type of response on the fumble and turnaround where it does affect the team psychologically if you score quick.
It's Gaines, Sire Gaines inside the 10. We'll check the spot. It's going to be a first down Broncos.
Well, Gaines really looks impressive, man. Off tackle, inline run right here. You got a counter, a pulling guard out in front of you. Does a nice job of, I think it's Mason Randolph. They pulled their centers as well as their tackle.
Yeah, sorry, Spencer. They tried to quick snap that, but a timeout was called by Colorado State.
Colorado State.
And I think they wanted to do something with the defense. So beat the snap. And they'll have 2 remaining. and Boise State will have all 3. Hey, the greatest rivalry in sports is here. Top-ranked defending national champion Ohio State going to the Big House. Going to snap that Michigan 4-game win streak against them in the game. It starts at 9 a.m. It's a special 3-hour big noon kickoff live from where the action is in Ann Arbor. You can be a part of it. And then you'll see Michigan, Ohio State at noon. And it's only on Fox.
And it doesn't get any bigger than this, man. This is impressive right here. And this kind of reminds me, in recent years, obviously this has been bigger because of the national championship implications. But back in my day, Texas, Oklahoma was similar to that. It had a feel to it unlike none other.
Can the Buckeyes keep rolling? Can Michigan keep their little string of head-to-head competition in their favor? Riley the back. Fake to him. Pass he is caught. Diving toward the pylon is Matt Wagner, and close. No signal.
I think Mac knows he hit the outside of that pylon. Anytime the pylon goes down, you need to take a look at this, but I think he hit it on the outside, the far outside of that pylon.
You're right on it, Spencer. Extra lineman in. Look at this backfield. Got a tight end back there. Dylan Riley time. Touchdown, Broncos. Each of the running backs now has a score here in the first half.
A little extracurricular activity going on. You got to check yourself down here, man.
That's just frustration on the part of Colorado State. It's been a tough year.
Yeah, Dylan Matoya, number 75, the right tackle, trying to protect his players and
getting physical. They have hung in there, but eventually taking advantage of another turnover, this time taking it into the end zone, and it was Riley's turn. His 9th touchdown running the football this season.
I tell you, the run fits were in place. In other words, everybody on the defense was where they're supposed to be. But man, after that turnover, this Boise State offense was hell bent for election in this one, man. They weren't going to be denied.
Extra point, and he nails another one. Steady Colton Boomer. We're at the 2-minute timeout, and the Broncos are busting loose.
Coming up, it's the State Farm halftime. USC battled Oregon in what could be a playoff elimination game. Georgia Tech could clinch a berth in the ACC championship with a win over Pitt, but Pitt not making it easy. Plus, Utah and Kansas State in a high-scoring thriller. K-State ran all over Utah, but was it enough, Tristan Spencer? Find out at the half.
We'll be watching. Mike, thank you. Look forward to hearing from Coach Peterson. Bruce Feldman will cover the afternoon, evening, and what's left in college football on a Saturday night, close the wind down of the regular season, and hopes of getting a three-peat, getting in that conference championship game. Boise State needs to do their part, win some tiebreakers as well in the process in the conference. Avant on the return and stopped right around the 20-yard line. Well, you wonder, Justin Marshall went out. I mentioned he went to the locker room. The running back, they're already thin there since Dupree has been out of the picture. So it's been Kennard and Lloyd Avant. And there goes Blitz doing his thing. But after that first drive, when the Colorado State offense picked up 45 yards, they've only had 34 yards since. That's every other drive.
So now Eric Chenander's going to play defense here with bodies in the back end.
And no Triani with the stop on Darius Curry.
And that's a huge win, Chris, because you're only playing 3 defensive linemen. So you're playing coverage. So you got 7, 8 guys back behind them, and you're still able to stop them with the 3 main guys up front.
2 timeouts, Colorado State. Curry rolling right, throwing low, and incomplete. Tommy Maher, the intended receiver. They've been trying to get the ball to him. It just hasn't worked out.
And Arthur DeBauchi, with the number 29, was the guy that was back there at that nickel position. And, you know, Coach Summers will try to find a way to defend and score points against this defense, but it's going to be tough, man. They are shut you down.
On a third down here, remember, they're set to get the ball to start the second half. This could be a bonus round if they can move downfield. 3rd and 9. And batted away. And Feely was the one who came up with a loose football. And that's a fumble.
Yep, it's a fumble.
And a recovery by Braxton Feely.
Well, Chris, again, this is the second mistake in successive drives. The ball, I thought, may have been coming forward. They were looking. They may take a look at this, and I don't think he was pulling it back at that point. It was moving forward and hit his shoulder pad. I think that ball is forward, coming forward. That's
looked like he was.
They're going to look at that.
Of the previous play is under further review.
That's not a fumble.
It looked like he was trying to pull the ball back when it hit the shoulder pad.
Well, the mechanics of what he's doing, you know, I don't really try to read in intent a lot of times, the guys. All I look at the mechanics of it. The arm was going forward.
Our rules analyst, Steve Stremling, is watching closely, Steve, as they take a look. How did you see it?
Yeah, you know, his hand starts to go forward, and that's the process. If he's bringing it back to his body, then it could be a fumble. But we think the ball comes out while he's still in that process of the pass where his hand is going forward. So we think,
and it looks like he has an open hand there, right, Steve? It looks like the hand is open as it's going forward, which has something to do with that being incomplete.
Yeah, if the ball was loose, but I think he has control as he starts forward.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's what they're going to look at.
You can see it from the end zone look. Yeah, because from the end zone, you could see that the defender was standing there. So his logic is said, don't throw the ball. So, but I think the mechanics of it, the ball was physically coming out as his arm was going forward. That's my take on it.
Well, we heard the call on the field. Of course, they didn't want to miss the opportunity of the fumble, but excellent defense either way. Even if they don't get the recovery, Colorado State will have a 4th down to deal with.
And because it's coming, when it's coming in the successive series you scored, that could be the kind of dagger you don't want to have going into the halftime, and they can suck the life right out of you.
Cal McNeil and crew and our.
I think what they're trying to sort out is where they're going to place the ball. And again, it'll look bad if they don't, but I think this is taking longer. Usually when it takes more than that time, they're trying to find out where the ball needs to be placed.
So you think they'll stay with the fumble, or you think?
No, I think it's
incomplete?
Fumble. I think they're going to stay, but not the fumble. I think it's.
Well, if it's incomplete, it goes back to the line of scrimmage. Okay, and it would be 4th down.
After review, the quarterback's hand was coming forward. It really is an incomplete pass. 4th down, the ball be placed at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, so back at the line of scrimmage, and you're right, it was an incomplete pass offense.
Yeah, and thanks for keeping me straight, though, on the other part of it. It was a fumble. It's coming back
to the line,
the line of scrimmage. But you're absolutely right. So I just think the mechanics of it, to me, after further review, you got the technology. Make it work for you. Make it right.
Almost a 3rd turnover by Colorado State. And in a sense, they do have to turn it over by kicking it away. Brian Hansen came in averaging 48 yards a boot. And Sharon back standing in his own 37-yard line. Gets it away, kicks another one of those grounders that bounce and roll. Well, those are tough to deal with. Look at this, it rolls all the way inside the.
And if you're Boise State, why are you even around the ball?
Yeah, you should get away with it. Rams are saying, hey, maybe we could force something here. The official says, let's see, did he touch it?
I mean, there's no reason why you need to even be around that ball right now.
Rule on field is the player was forced into the ball. There is no touching.
Okay, so,
First down, Boise State.
So they were there was a group of Rams trying to push him toward it, but boy, the punting game is an adventure the way they, or the return game, I should say, off of Hansen's punts. It ended up, yeah, what are you doing there, right? 58 yards on that roll. And the last 3 possessions, taking advantage of takeaways, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, and it has taken a tight game and opened it up.
Keegan Hollis, almost the guy that pushed him into it had a little club on his hand. He almost was a hero and pushed him into that ball.
Sherrod, bottom of your screen as a receiver. And throwing to the tight end, Matt Lauder. Moving the change with all 3 timeouts.
Chris, there's some incredible game plan and scouting going on here because all of the games upfield.
And remember, their best, there's another catch the other way by Lauder. The best receiver on the team, Chris Marshall, is inactive. Caples has done his part from the receiver spot, but they've distributed well to the tight ends, at least Max Cutforth has.
And this defense has kind of helped them. They've been aggressive, has the Rams, but the games and the deals that they're working up front seem to be leaving natural voids that the quarterback can see through. That's the problem that I'm seeing. That means they're in your wheelhouse, man. They've studied the game.
Clock stops on the first down inside of 2, and they're at the 35. And throwing again.
No pressure weak.
Late pressure, that'll be incomplete. Caples in the area, but Robert Edmondson, referred to as one of the smarter players on this defense, with a late charge.
Yeah, watch him come from his Mike linebacker position, number 45. He's on the edge right here, right? And so he's going to come. The back's eyes are away from him. He's leaking out right now, and that's what you call a green dog, Chris. That means when the back is out, if he stays in, you have permission to go get the quarterback if you know someone else is covering him. That's a great job of getting pressure late. Here comes edge pressure again.
The throw incomplete for Caples. A little bit high. It was open across, moving across the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Broncos did a great job of picking up that late stunt and shoring up the interior of that front.
Boise State over 135 rush yards between their 3 backs. They've averaged 5 a carry. But the impressive command of the passing game from Max Cutforth.
Here comes another full blitz, and I think because the safety's high, I think he's going to come. The safety's going to rotate out.
And on the run, Cutforth in some trouble here. Throws and the sideline catch.
Wow.
The feet were in. Chase Penry at the 44-yard line. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, it really was, and there were some things that Tyson Summers was trying to do, roll his coverage on the back end late, but this young quarterback beat him, man. Saw the coverage rotate, got a guy downfield and made a play.
Quick snap. Caples at the 43, and the clock running a timeout here. Broncos will use their first. They'll have 2 remaining.
Boise State.
Check Caples, or he got a little dinged a little bit.
Sixth catch of the game for Caples, limping a bit.
Yep.
On senior night. Yeah, congrats to all those 20 seniors recognized before the game. They're on this blue field in front of the home folks.
It was good to see Spencer Danielson, their head coach, man. He emotional around them. You can tell this is a close-knit group. And here's the senior night package right here. Look at them, the moms and the significant others in their life. There's Coach with the big hug. He's invested in these kids. In fact, these kids are one of the reasons why he got this head coaching job in 2023, Chris.
Yeah, this is second full season as the head coach. Took over on that interim basis, and they made the run to the top of the conference at age 37. Danielson, one of the younger head coaches in college football. Second down, 8. The pass is caught, and spinning is Penry. So a great sideline grab, and now one in traffic at the 30-yard line.
And with Jace Bella hanging all over him, he goes up and makes a grab and catch in traffic.
A little bit high. Bella already double-digit tackles. That was again for Chase Penry.
Lamondre Joe, number 7, defending on that play. Here's the previous play with the Twins route here. Watch him sit down, high-low action. Goes to the second, the high guy in that little stack. Great read. Great completion, great catch.
And Penry, one of those seniors, a redshirt senior. His third season at Boise State after 2 at Colorado. Over 200 yards for Cutforth.
They're trying to hide this pressure, man, but it's going to be a single high safety that's got to beat one.
Caples, and a flag. And another flag. C.J. Blocker was trying to stay with Latrell Caples.
Well, I knew it was going to be tough because it was a single safety look. That means everybody's manned up on the outside. That safety is going to come late.
Automatic first down.
The safety is going to come late, but watch him roll out of it. Trying to get open, but man, when you don't have your eyes turned back to it, that internal clock is working, and then your fear or concern of getting beat is working against you, and you get a little sloppy in your coverage.
Not sure that this Colorado State secondary expected Cutforth to put the ball up 25 times here in the first half.
Well, the reason why he was able to do it consistently is this trio of runners that he has commands attention around the line of scrimmage.
From the 15-yard line, time 21 seconds before the half. Two timeouts, and the pass is caught, knocked down inside the 10-yard line is Bates. And they'll use a second timeout. They'll have one remaining with 15 seconds to go.
Boise State.
I like the aggressiveness.
Second timeout.
Getting to sit on the ball with the lead here nearing the half, this offense. And I think also, and you tell me, Spencer, with your young quarterback, this is a good time for him to got to do some things.
Absolutely.
They said we need him to show him more of what he has. We didn't give him much of an opportunity so far.
And what they did in that last formation was create, and they motioned to it, a little trip formation, and then created what they call a levels concept. Guys running in the same direction, one at one level, one a little bit higher, so the quarterback sees them in the same frame. Now you got to make a choice. That gives you a chance to see the growth of Cutforth.
Arrived at Boise State as a walk-on. Two-year starter at Skyline High School, had 44 touchdown passes and had thrown only one pass late in the win over Appalachia State before being pressed into action with the injury to Maddox Madsen, who we hear could play later this year, depending upon how far the Broncos go. Maybe even the final regular season game, but the way Cutforth is rolling, don't rush him back. Oh, and the pressure is on, and he's sacked. Lamondre Joe from the secondary. Timeout, Boise State, their last.
The boundary corner, that's the short side. That means he's the most aggressive of the two. Not afraid to tackle somebody. He comes, dips his shoulder, gets around Casey, the left tackle, number 77, and boy, he comes in there with intention. That tells you, man, when you are able to 190 pounds and you're ready to dip your shoulder over a 6'5", 311 guy, that tells me something about your character, man.
Great defense by Colorado State when they needed it the most. Cutforth maybe could have probably cut that loose, got rid of it given the situation with 10 seconds and now no timeout. So if you want to get points here, if you're Boise State, Colorado State can maybe tackle you, keep you in bounds for a field goal try or keep them out of the end zone.
This is interesting.
Yeah, well, maybe would you line up and kick the field goal?
I get the points, man. I get the points.
Right now it'd be a 38-yard try. If they do something quick, maybe a shot at the end zone or the sideline. And that's where he's going, to the sideline to pick up some yardage.
Yep. Now you get the points.
Matt Lauder, another catch, his fourth of the game. Wagner has 3 from that tight end position.
And I love the play. You know, it's a short side of the field. So if you're on that left hash, if you do something, you need to do it to the short side of the field where you can only spend 4 seconds on that play. Well executed.
Colton Boomer, 32 yards away. They're going to try the old
freeze them.
Timeout, Colorado State. Their second timeout of the half. 30 seconds in length.
You know, I know the results haven't been there for the head coach pressed into that situation at Colorado State, you know, taking over on the interim basis. But Tyson Summers is really tried to hold the team together, deal with a lot of the personnel issues, and get this program going in the right direction. Their big win was when they took on and had a win against Fresno State, which was a 49-21 victory. Just 2 wins this year, but they showed you how capable they were.
I think his presence has a calming impact. The fact that this is his second tour of duty, I think it's calmed this team down a little bit and getting something that a new coach would not be able to accomplish.
He's been money all night. And Colton Boomer delivers again as time runs out in the first half and a 20-point Bronco lead. They'll be kicking off to Colorado State to start the third quarter. On their way, keeping their hopes alive for a conference championship title game on the Mountain West. Let's send it out to our studio team in LA. Mike Hill, Chris Peterson, and Bruce Feldman. Back here getting ready for the start of the third quarter in Idaho. A 20-point Boise State lead. Time for the first half report card, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college town. Spencer Tillman, Chris Myers, thanks for hanging with us. And man, look at the numbers. I mean, these are final stats for some teams, but in the first half, the Broncos, especially, great ground game here, total yards, but over 230 pass yards from Max Cutforth in just his second start.
Chris, I think the young quarterbacks, Max Cutforth in particular, acquitted themselves well early in this particular one. And then Darius Curry certainly took himself to another level. The diminutive quarterback is only about 5'10", 160 pounds or something like that, but the kid stood in the pocket when they gave him opportunities. But I have to give it to the run game. This trio of running backs that Boise State has did a wonderful job of controlling. And then, of course, they got turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. But between Dylan Riley, Sire Gaines, and Malik Sherrod, those tandems, and combined with what they did in the throw game, to me, really put this game out of reach early.
Yeah, you can almost sense, they're back-to-back champions of the Mountain West Conference for a reason. Boise State on the outside looking in. They need to do their part, get some tiebreakers to keep their hopes alive of just getting in the conference championship game, and again going to another bowl game, 28 straight seasons. But boy, they smell that, and they want to finish strong here at home before they finish the regular season against Utah State. And the Rams will let it go, and we will see them try on offense. 17 straight points, by the way, scored by Boise State. Kind of broke open what was a close game in the opening quarter.
But Chris, I will say this, to even be in a position to be vying for a conference championship, given what you lost last year, and of course won a conference championship, Boise State, it's a miracle, man, that they're even in this spot. It's been ugly to this point, but to be even in a place where they got a chance to talk in this way about winning another title is impressive.
From the 25-yard line, it's Lloyd Avant, and a good-looking run. He picks up 9. Justin Marshall went to the locker room, we should say, early in that first half, and has not returned, but this was a good-looking run call.
This looked like an Edgerrin James kind of play, slow to, fast through, right? He read that thing on the back end and didn't see anybody sticking in his face. Jeremiah Irby was out there waiting, but not before 6 yards were gained.
Marshall is out for the game, has been ruled officially out. Avant has the first down.
These receivers are not afraid to block. That's another thing. Avant, the benefactor of his teammate out there, Jeremiah Irby, on the boundary on the defensive side, but he's got a partner that's working, trying to get him extra yards.
Irby had a big interception in that first half. Also a fumble recovery on the part of the Boise State defense.
I'd be staying away from that guy.
The throw for Lanier is incomplete, and Irby was back there covering. Let's check on that flag.
Pass interference, number 6 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Well, they got the senior transfer. Got a little handsy there on the back end of it. Anytime you got man coverage, I think he knows he's got help over the top of the safety, but that right hand is what they got him on, and that's a tough call right there.
Avant tackled right away. May have lost a half a yard.
And Mike linebacker Virgin Morgan and company was back in there and all over, man. It's tough to get yards in the middle in this group.
Jake Ripp involved in the tackle.
They love this 4 wide receiver package here. 90% of the time they're going to be throwing.
And he does. Rocky Beers to the 45 before he goes out of bounds.
It's a great football name, Rocky Beers, man. Crafting a little action here on that underneath route. Watch him again. You got a little split flow, trying to get some eye candy out there so that these guys can get attention away from him. He's got some athleticism in him too, man. After the ball's in his hands, he can do a little something with it.
Had that 6th touchdown catch of the season, tying a school record. Pass is incomplete. Near the target, coverage was good. Jeremiah Irby, who's, I don't know if they're targeting him. He's just active all over the place.
I would not be targeting him. Again, a couple of reasons why. Number one, he's turned the ball over a couple of times now, showing you his ball skills, the ability to strip it. But Tyson Summers just keeps coming at this guy, you know. From an offensive standpoint, Grant Chestnut is an old offensive lineman, a little bit hard-headed. That guy right there has stolen it from you twice tonight, and not just turned you over, he stole some offensive possessions from you as well.
Sherrod back to receive the kick. These have been interesting. They've been fun to watch. A roller, a dribbler, a bouncer, and he gets away from this one as he gets to the 10-yard line.
Timeout on the field.
And Hansen with his creative kicks. Boise State on offense with a 20-point lead in the 3rd. Elvis has not left the building. Maybe they'll have a little blue Christmas as we get closer here in the 3rd quarter. Boy, the trend with wins and losses, we said in all of their losses, they only scored 7 points, but in the wins, look at it, 44 points, and they have yet to be involved in a 1-score game, and this is following the trend.
Yep. And in the 39 seasons they've been on the blue turf, this has got to be one of the most challenging ones they've had in that stretch.
Sire Gaines keeps on rolling up to the 18-yard line. Yeah, love that blue turf. It was federally trademarked. They were the first to do it back in the 80s, and they wanted to be different. First to have a non-green field here, and there's only 3 other colleges that have fields that aren't green, but nobody beats the blue. They're noted for that, as Gaines should have enough for the first down, and he does. And they're going to tear it up this summer and put in new blue turf as they do some reconstruction here. I know you were checking on that. It'll be the 6th time that they do that.
Well, this north end zone, all this area is kind of emblematic of where the franchise is, where the team is. It's under construction, man. They're rebuilding, Chris. And I'll tell you, they've really built in a hurry tonight in terms of getting their quarterbacks untracked early in this contest and iterating and finding ways to continue the success.
Yeah, they're going to put the Pac-12 logo in where they're headed next after they wrap up the Mountain West. And the blue, you talk about the blue on the field, the blue uniforms, blue, right? They're 3-0 this year wearing those. They've won 8 straight. But some of the other teams in the conference they've played have complained that the uniforms blend in with the field sometimes.
Yep. But, well, there's a downside, I guess, to being unique in that regard, because of that. But I really think this place is special. Ever since 2007, obviously kind of sticks in my craw because it was against my Oklahoma Sooners that they beat. Kind of put them on the map, man. But this blue turf is synonymous. It's exceptional.
That was before a college football playoff, a BCS game where they upset Adrian Peterson and the Sooners, and that's incomplete.
You called that game, did you not?
Well, I was part of the broadcast crew as the field reporter, and it was bouncing back from side to side and then that great Statue of Liberty play to end it, and the Ian Johnson wedding proposal. So let's see, there's a flag. Are they picking that up, or are they discussing the call?
Illegal motion, number 25 of the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
They're calling Quentin Brown, the freshman receiver, for the penalty.
Please put 25 seconds on the play clock.
Sire Gaines, who got the early touchdown, has his second career 100-yard game. He had 110 against Georgia Southern. But this ground game, whoever they've given the ball to,
has been productive.
Sherrod is in there now. Throwing, and a low throw by Cutforth in the area of Cameron Bates.
That one ricocheted. It came in hot, and you had 3 defenders all around him. You got to be careful with those kind of balls. You got to make sure that it's on the receiver because it's not man coverage. There are 3 guys playing zone around him. So a carom means there's an opportunity for somebody to catch that thing.
Yeah, you don't want to leave if you're Boise State. You don't want Colorado State any room. Remember that one win, and we showed you where they rallied from 17 down and then 20 down. On the move, throwing and completing. Oh, he had it. Caples. That would have matched his career high in catches. But he wanted to run with it before he gathered it in.
And Chris, it was almost like they heard us. That last play was a zone coverage, and they have man, one trailer in your hip pocket. The quarterback moves out of the pocket to get away from the pressure. He's still running right now. If he just secures that ball and puts it in his hand. Jahari Rogers is back there defending, and he's the one that was in his hip pocket. But boy, he wish he had that one back again.
Well, let's see. They get a break if Colorado State can respond offensively. A moving punt. I thought maybe he was going to try and run.
I thought it was going to be past the line of scrimmage.
For the first down. Yeah, he almost could have done that. There was room to do it. Interesting move by Oscar Doyle.
And Chris, look at Oscar Doyle here. He's the punter, right? The guy's on the Ray Guy watch list, and he's got some athleticism to him. I want you to watch this. When he sees this thing, he carries it an extra while. He can head off to the other direction, man. The closest defender is there, but here's what he's got. He can attack the grass. That's the philosophy of this system, right? How about running it to that naked space over there, man? And Coach Danielson's over on the other side saying, hey, man, what are you thinking about?
His coach smiling. He from Australia.
Revisit that.
Yeah, we played Australian rules football before developing as a punter as Avant carries. It ended up being a 45-yard punt. That Pro Kick Australia program has worked well. Doyle from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. He's actually 2 for 2 as a passer this year.
How about
Talking
that?
about fakes, has a 10-yard touchdown toss off a fumbled snap. Falling back to the 39 is Taylor.
This is one of the rare, what I call run-pass conflict situations I've seen today, where it's going to be 3rd down now, and if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're saying, okay, Eric Chenander, how are we going to defend this thing? Are we going to try to pressure this kid, or are we going to allow him to get out of the pocket and try to make a play? It's going to be an interesting call defensively. Single high safety indicates pressure.
3rd and 4, catch, and slipping for the first down as Rocky beers it out of bounds. And a big play from the Ram tight end.
Zion Washington, the boundary safety, had a chance to catch him there. So he's out after his assignment. He passes it off, gets the guy beat in man coverage underneath, and Washington comes over and just misses him. Beers just slips right past him with that big body of his.
Firing deep, incomplete. Kennard from the running back spot, the target. Curry threw it out there, showing off his arm strength.
And that's just really unfortunate, too, because I think what you're going to find, the ball climbs on him, right? Hits him right in the shoulder pad. You know, if you're a receiver, Chris, you're going to pluck that thing out of the air. But running backs aren't used to catching the ball in open space like that. Kennard, wish he had that one back once again.
Yeah, Sherrod Smith back there playing. He was injured, missed the last game, but he's been more active because of the McCoy surgery. And a takeaway. Another. That's the 3rd of the game. Zion Washington with this pick.
Well, Chris Curry was thinking about trying to get the screen working in there. And when you throw it into traffic, you got to be really careful about those defenders who are around that ball. It's better to throw that thing in the dirt if you can't see it clearly. So once again, you got activity, you got motion, getting those guys cleared out in the middle, and he just floats it up a little bit too high. Way over the head. I'm not sure. Kennard was way in front of his offensive lineman. That was just a poorly executed play and an even worse decision to throw it if you're Curry.
Top pass defense producing once again. Another takeaway.
Wow.
First down for the Broncos.
And a miscue on the part of the Rams. Throwing. And Caples. Does he hang on? Going to the turf? No. Jahari Rogers put the hit on him. And he's hurt.
Out on the field.
Yeah, Chris, and it was almost instant. And when he hit the turf, yeah, I think it was. I don't want to speculate, but he hit. It's almost like the air just left at him, but the head hit simultaneously on the ground.
Timeout on the field.
Hope he's okay. Well, it took a moment, but thankfully Latrell Caples, after trying to catch that pass and having a tough hit to the turf, up and headed toward the sideline.
Well, Latrell, as you can see, is put together pretty good. The guy's cut up like coleslaw, man. He's pretty good. It was the hip it looked like, and then the second head bounces after that, and it was hard to tell if it was that aggressive of an impact. Very difficult to discern.
And they did rule that the catch, which makes it even more miraculous that he was able to hang on enough. It looked like the ball came out loose, but they ruled it a catch and down. And we'll certainly root for the best. His 7th catch of the game from the 40 of Colorado State. And got it back. Malik Sherrod on the exchange.
Well, it's just a bad exchange. The ball coming out, play action. And you know, when backs will occasionally reach for the ball instead of creating a pocket with the elbow up, I think that's what happens. Or you're reaching for the ball, simply can't do that. You got to be clean with it, never get away from your fundamentals. Right arm, shoulder up, the underneath open.
Sire gains in the backfield.
Well, he got man coverage is what he wants. Somebody got to be open.
He has time.
Got him.
And underneath.
He dropped it.
Cameron Bates couldn't hold on.
And they worked so hard, Chris, to get that thing open. They went pre-snap motion to try to see if the defense would reveal what its coverage was. They did. They got exactly what they wanted, and it's dropped it.
Well, now it's 4th down.
Holy cow.
From the 41. And they're going to leave the offense out there. Well, they were trying to get him to jump.
Number 14, offense.
If not,
5-yard penalty. Main 4th down.
Back him up and bring out the punter. Who knows? Maybe Oscar Doyle will run for the 1st down, or at least make it look that way before he kicks it.
I mean, take a peek, take a look-see, man. You're in a situation now where they ignored you. I doubt if they come out. First of all, they've got to come out in that 3-by-1 formation to get the separation that they did last time. If they come out in a true punt formation, you're not going to see. Yep. Listen, no, they're going out with 4 split guys. This is kind of funky, man. You can get the same look.
He punted 7 times in each of the last 2 games. But the offense much better tonight. And it drops inside the 13-yard line. Kennard hauls that in, and the Rams will take over on offense. Just under 7.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Fox College Football Friday under the lights, prime time. This week, the duel in the desert, Arizona State. Friday night, 9 Eastern, that's 6 Pacific. And you know, in Mountain Time on Fox, that's where we are in Mountain Time. In the Mountain West Conference, 2 teams that'll move on to the Pac-12 when next season rolls around. Part of the shuffling that continues to go on in college football.
No love lost between those two right there. And I tell you what, Arizona's got a pretty nifty quarterback. Kind of reminds me of Kyler Murray.
Looking for room and brought down right away is Lloyd Avant. Boy, the Bronco defense, we talk about their pass defense, they just haven't allowed much on the ground.
Well, you know, usually run defense is what you can use to get a measure of where your team really is. It's kind of like special teams, right? You get an aggressive special teams that tells you a little bit about the character of your team.
Keeping them to under 3 yards a carry when they try and run it. Pass is caught with a tackle right away at the 11-yard line and shoved back. Winfield caught it. Armani Winfield, and then Roman Kaywood came in to hammer him.
War number 51 comes in there, man. He's screaming. He's got his ears pinned back, and he just nails them big time. Great read and reaction there from number 51, man. These linebackers are something else. They're like lit fuses racing to a point to explode, Chris.
And just like that, it's 3rd and long. Will they bring the heat?
Yep, they're coming.
Rolling, throwing. Not enough for the first down. Pass complete to Tommy Maher by the active Darius Curry. And the punting unit will come out.
Well, you see him as the inside receiver here, and he releases upfield and then turns on the little corner. And this is a levels concept. You're trying to pull that safety out of there, but it attracted more attention than it did not on that particular play. It kind of worked against him. No worries.
Here we go, a drop and roll. And inside the 40. Down to the 33-yard line, where the Broncos will take over on offense here in the 3rd quarter, protecting a 27-7 lead. College football on FS1, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. 27-7. Boise State the lead in the ball. We talked about the starting quarterbacks that were out. Jackson Brousseau, his longtime friend Maddox Madsen. They were quarterbacks at rival high schools, but Madsen transferred in the spring, and they played baseball. They were 2 pitchers. Madsen was actually a catcher when Brousseau pitched. And the connection stays on, as there's quite a baseball connection with Maddox Madsen. As Dylan Riley carries. In fact, his full name is Maddox Jeter Madsen, so you get as much of the baseball.
Number 2.
And there's Brousseau looking on. Madsen, his brothers are named Mick for Mickey Mantle, McGuire, Mays, his sister Macy Joe, like Joe DiMaggio, and other brother Murphy. So baseball running through the starting quarterbacks, although injured in this game. But a neat connection between those 2 talented young players.
Nice. Number 2, Jeter.
A big hole, and off and running is Dylan Riley. Another great move inside the 30 of Colorado State.
And Chris, that's the sign you're looking for. And maybe one other game, New Mexico, when they've shown a dominance, ability to put teams away late. Even though we haven't reached the 4th quarter yet, this is what you're looking for. Consistency, signs of growth. And it's not a surprise that it's coming via the run game. These running backs are impressive, man.
35-yard gain. Averaging over 5 a carry. And this time not much. 181 rush yards with that trio of running backs for the Broncos.
There's no quitting these Rams, though. They're still flying around to the point of attack, trying to make plays. But Dylan Riley and the company are making them pay for all of it, though.
I mean, they started out really clogging up the run, making it tough for Boise State. But Max Cutforth in the offensive approach of throwing the ball opened it up a little bit. Sire Gaines comes in. Got 102 yards rushing in the game.
That guy's Seabiscuit, man.
I was waiting for him to come down the stretch. But he did get the first down inside the 20.
Yeah, we're going to exhaust that metaphor. But, you know, Seabiscuit had those little eyes, man. He'd look at you, and that horses have character, and so do players. And this trio right here has character. There are guys that they remind you when they stop and start, it has some kind of a way of projecting their character, the essence of who they are. I absolutely love this trio of runners right here. Dylan Riley, Sire Gaines, Malik Sherrod.
Ride that Bronco as long as you can. That's Gaines to inside the 15-yard line. Originally committed to Arizona State, believe it or not, as a linebacker from Orange Vista High School in Southern California.
And they all do something a little bit different. I think Sherrod is more of the gadget guy, right? The one they want to get the ball to him in space and try to do some creative things. They were a little hesitant to do it because the quarterback development. But since we've seen Max Cutforth do what he's doing, they should allow him the opportunity.
Cameron Bates.
Nice tunnel screen there, man.
And a first down, chewing up yardage and the clock.
This is an extension of your run game, right? You just have your receiver back off the line of scrimmage, have your inside receiver, Chase Penry, go from that F position is what they call it in this scheme. He's the inside receiver along with Latrell Caples, and then just get upfield.
Gaines. Touchdown. Boise State. He's got 2 tonight.
Chris, I know both you and I remember this. Remember the Washington Redskins used to have the counter tray?
Yes.
This is exactly what this is, but it's this college version of it. You don't have the big 2 tackles pulling, but the back steps over and allows those 2 pulling guys that are receiving or pulling. See 63 go out and kick out the counter tray, and up in the middle, that little subtle move right there is what separates one of these trio backs right here. That move right there. Oh my goodness, this is a special group. They run well in traffic. They run physical, and they're smart.
Redshirt freshman in the end zone. The extra point hits the upright, but things are going all right for the Broncos. It goes through, and it's 34-7. They may be on their way to 40 again. We've been talking about when they score 40, they win. They're held to 7, they lose. But it's closing time here, not only in this game, but in the season. If they get past this and Utah State, maybe get into the Mountain West Conference Championship game. There's a series of tiebreakers that would need to happen, but they're going to go to a bowl game one way or another.
And the rushing game is leading the way, Chris, and you can see once again their ability to run inside and outside. The interior line play has really opened things up, and when they need to go get that physical yard, they're able to do it. These guys right here, Sire Gaines, they run so kinetically inside close spaces, man. These guys are like little protons bouncing off one another in that interior line. You'd love to have backs leverage their speed and be physical like they are. It's a rare combination of gifts that they have. And I like what Spencer Danielson is doing, using it to motivate those guys.
Holding to kick. And touchback. You know, it was interesting, Spencer Danielson telling us, you know, it's been a challenging year because of, you know, the expectations of this team. But he broke it into the season into kind of 3 what he called areas. The first month is building your identity, right? And then the mid-season was the skill building, and then November he called it the you know, the separation month.
And I would add a 4th one to it. It's real-time management of the assets that do emerge and start to perform well, because you got to feed them, because they've got mobility now, Chris. They'll leave you if they don't play, and they're playing well.
You feel the momentum. The defense is all over this as well. Yeah, he said it hurt him in the heart in the Fresno State game because he felt the team didn't really battle. They got booed off their home field. He said, I wouldn't have blamed him in that situation. His first home loss as a head coach here. But he thought the San Diego State game, even though they lost in the weather conditions and the quarterback, they battled enough there, and it built something that he thinks, or he thought, would show up tonight, and it certainly has.
And it's a perceptive of you. We'll unpack that in a second, because it really was close to him.
Open down the sideline, of the catch is made. It's Rocky Beers all the way down to the 36-yard line.
Well, Beers has really had some explosive plays. I like this kid right here, man. He's shown me something tonight. Watch Beers get time. The little cursory fake here. And the ball's placed over the top of coverage, corner on the outside, the safety underneath, and Beers there for the grab.
Leading receiver for the Rams, 5 catches for him. Avant for a nice block. Here's a flag and incomplete.
I think this is going to be holding on the Rams that left side. Latu's almost was ready to get home.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 72. Offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay. First down.
Christian Martin is the left tackle who they called it on. Was he playing at that spot? Yeah, it looked like didn't quite. So back at midfield after assessing the penalty on a 1st and 25.
Wow.
Nothing. Avant could go nowhere.
I think that was a wasted play right there. I mean, listen, some people say you're telegraphing what you're doing if you try to get those yards back immediately. If they're expecting you formation-wise to run the football, then you got a tight end that's been able to get open and gash several times tonight for big plays. You got players that can get open.
From the pocket, pass is caught. Beers again to the 37, but well short of the first down on a 3rd down and about a dozen.
Yeah, Beers is the next level player. I'm convinced that I've seen enough of him. He kind of reminds me of Brent Jones because now he's lined up inside in a slot receiver position. And it's the classic trio or that triangle that Bill Walsh used to make. If you can stress it, that triangle will expose any defense's intentions. And this guy runs it about as well as any tight end I've seen.
Curry will throw high, and it's 4th down. That was in the area of Beers.
A really creative blitzes, Chris, coming in here. They're getting pressure on Curry quickly.
We have completed 3 quarters in Idaho, and the Broncos at home looking good. A 34-7 advantage headed to the 4th. Up here enjoying college football on FS1, sponsored by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns, and they're having a good time here in Boise. Fireworks from this offense as we begin the 4th quarter. And on 4th down, they're staying out there. Need to get to the 25-yard line. A dozen is what's needed here. A chance for the Bronco defense to shine even more. In trouble. And they're not going to let him get away. He's sacked all the way back at the 49-yard line. Zion Washington led the charge.
Well, Jaden Mickey had him dead, the right's number 20, and he came from that nickel linebacker position. It's kind of a hybrid role, so watch 20 come in late and lose him on the first go by. But again, as my partner talked about, is that tenacious attitude, not giving up. Curry eventually comes right back to him. You know, one of the things that Curry's got to learn is when he vacates an area, whether he's doing it through his elusiveness or he's rolling out, that guy who he just went by, isn't dead. He's coming back. So he's got to be mindful of where he is all the time and have that internal clock. Great defensive effort by the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, and even on a 4th down, maybe just kind of throw it up for grabs, but at least they gave it a shot. Dylan Riley the back. And going out of bounds. Cut forth, keeps.
Now he had Chase Penry there, the inside receiver, the F receiver. The guy's in that spot. You know, we've seen Latrell Caples get hurt and go out, but I've seen a couple of guys working from that position that seem to be open consistently, and that may be a flaw in what Tyson Summers is doing from a defensive standpoint, but the quarterback missed him on that one. Wide open.
Cut forth, quick pass, and knocked away. The coverage was good.
Well, if they can get any kind of coverage for any length of time, they're going to have people open, even though you got off coverage up top, right? So look at the distance he is off of the coverage on the inside, and just got to be able to put that ball on him and get it to him in space and let him see if he can make a play. It's straight man coverage.
Dylan Phelps, the excellent defense. And Bates, well, there's been some opportunities here.
I think Dylan Riley was wide open too,
Second drop for Bates in the game. Did have that big 42-yard gainer. But on fourth down, back to Oscar Doyle time. He looks like a rugby player. And I mean that in the nicest way.
You too kind. A little girth there on him.
And he'll kick it away. Fair catch inside the 10 before going out of bounds. New Mexico has won a 20-3 final over Air Force. San Diego State playing a little bit later. And this game well in hand.
So the Mexico win keeps him in the title hunt. So this thing was crowded when we came in with 2 more games remaining. 7 teams within 1 game turnover. So it's a crowded space.
Mountain West going to have 4 teams that might all be in a tiebreaker to see who gets in the conference championship game.
Oh!
Kennard, it's loose. Javion Kennard off and into the end zone for a Ram touchdown. And a flag down after he crossed the goal line. 91 yards.
Wow. Boy, that's just he's high-stepping, man, right there. I'm not sure what the penalty's on, but number 24 shows you he's got some burst and some speed. I don't know about that.
He's only 5'8".
During the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 24, taunting, 15 yards from the spot of foul. First down, Colorado State.
Wow. And they're talking to him over there about, and that's happened in the pros. We gotta see exactly.
Yeah, and that side judge is grabbing that yellow hanky the minute he gets into that stride mode and starts Tennessee horsing it down the sideline. And
I don't know. Is that?
Yeah, I don't think that's I personally don't think that's an issue.
Takes the touchdown away.
I thought we had SEC officials there for a minute. Yeah.
We saw it. He was in the end zone, but nice catch in traffic inside the 25. That's Tay Lanier. Wow, a 91-yard play.
Gated.
Yeah, because of taunting.
But did you notice how Tyson Summers and all those coaches on the sideline handled it? They didn't go up in arms, put their hands on the shoulders, consult the kid.
It's a learning experience.
No question.
And a good tackle right away on Avant. And a flag down. Travis Anderson, maybe. There's a flag on the other side of the field as well.
Legal shift, number 8 and 10, promotion at the same time. That penalty's declined. Third down.
Okay, so they wave that one off. No need to accept. Spotted at the 24. Just trying to get some points after that first possession when the Rams marched downfield and got the touchdown. After that, nothing. Blitz is on. Catch is made, and taking it for the first down is Tommy Maher, and that should be enough. Check the exact spot.
Yeah, that's a nice big boy throw right there. Three-quarter field, Chris. On the far hash, Curry sets up, and that ball's got to go across three-quarters of the field. Again, it gives you a sense of how strong this kid's arm is. Small guy, but, man, he puts it right on the mark. Here comes late pressure. See if he can get it.
He was open at the 10, but had trouble setting up to get the ball to Rocky Beers.
This may be the place where the height factor really affects you. You're sitting there square in the pocket, and you're trying to get the ball up and over to a guy that's settling down versus zone coverage. And unless you're properly set up in your position to throw and your platform is proper, it's tough for a guy at 5'10", and I'm being generous, to be able to see over and throw.
That was his 30th pass attempt in his first start. Curry completes. Kennard's back out there. Of course, they're thin with that hand injury to Justin Marshall. It's been Kennard and Avant. That's it as far as running backs that have been able to go.
Well, we saw Darius beat man coverage on that one. I mean, he had a blitzer right in his face. He dealt with the pressure, took the blow, completed the pass. That's growth. Broncos showing pressure and then bails out.
3rd and 5. Pass is juggled and caught. First down inside the 5. Lanier had to catch it twice, maybe thrice.
He did double clutch that thing. I think you're right, Chris. I think he did handle it 3 times. So let's count it. 1, 2, and it comes out again 3 times. The ball came out, and he's snow coning that thing, trying to hang on to it. And he knows he's got man coverage. Isn't it? Some pocket. Give him credit for hanging on.
The hand, it hasn't been ruled an incomplete pass. An open hand, and that's Ty Benefield who has the football. It looked like
I think it was a lateral.
Didn't want to throw that. It looked like he was trying to pull it back. Get the ruling on this. Did not hear a whistle or a wave that it was incomplete.
I think he threw it back.
It's a forward pass, incomplete forward pass. Okay. 2nd down.
It just took him a minute, and just barely is that forward.
From my angle, it looked like it was about a yard behind where he was, and he was moving, so you give him credit for that. But man, that's a tough one right there. He's lucky.
Yeah, it's not so much the body, it's where the ball is. So that did look close, but it still, I think they got it right. Oh, was that a spit? What the heck was that?
Wow.
This is.
Oh, that's powerful. That's terrible.
And that's a Jaden Virgin Morgan.
Wow.
That
kid should have an apple and a roadmap, Chris, right now. Sorry, that's untenable.
All right, so Danielson is down there talking to the officials, and I think he's saying if he saw what we saw, the frustration, right, the shove from Virgin Morgan, but then you just don't spit at people.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I mean, that is ridiculous. It is not reviewable.
They didn't call it.
And they didn't see it initially. If it's not reviewable, but we all saw it.
That's vulgar.
Not cool. Avant. And he's in for a touchdown. Lloyd Avant carries it in. They eventually do get the touchdown, getting Kennard off the hook on that 91-yarder and then the taunt. But the conference, by the way, the Mountain West Conference will take a look at this afterwards and hand out punishment. Hate to take away from Avant's touchdown run on that classless move.
Yeah, that was, and I think we had something like that happen in the NFL early this week, and it's untenable. There's no excuse. If you're watching at home and you're playing and appreciating this game for what it is, youngsters out there, never do what this young quarterback just did. You're frustrated. We get it.
Extra point. Isaiah Hankins is good. Yeah, you played the game, Spencer. There's a code amongst professionals
Timeout on the field.
or fellow colleagues, but they do get the touchdown. Just over 11 minutes remain at a 34-14 Boise State lead. And Darius Curry, the moment of frustration. Now, Spencer, you played the game at a high level in college and in the NFL, and I know it's an emotional game, but there are some boundaries that's just inexcusable. If you're going to be out there, you just can't cross that. Now, and I don't know what Tyson Summers and what he saw, but that's not his kind of program. I mean, should he bench his quarterback the rest of the way? I mean, what kind of punishment do you think should come his way?
Without a doubt, you should bench him. You have to be able to appraise the situation and make a decision. If you want to preserve your culture and trust, you cannot allow that to stand, because once you do, every athlete that does it subsequently has a tenable reason to do what they did.
An onside kick.
Wow.
And it works for the Rams. Recovery and hit a member of Boise State. Tommy Maher had it first. And, had the recovery for Colorado State. I did not see which member of the Broncos that hit first. Right there was a good onside kick and hit him like number 18. Am I seeing that?
That Samuel Brooks, I think it was.
Yeah, I think, yep, that's it.
Special teams player.
Hit him well.
Yep, and but again, not to take away from the subject we were talking about a minute ago, now it kind of almost gets buried. If you wind up scoring here, it almost like the thing didn't happen. You cannot ignore a player spitting on another player. You have to preserve your culture.
Pass is caught, unless there's some kind of excuse for that. But I just don't.
The only thing I can think of, Chris, is somebody said something to him, and the defender that walked past him had his back to us, so we don't know that. But irrespective
Even
of
if
that,
somebody says something
do not spit on somebody. Everybody is watching. The administration watching. Recruits are watching. Families of recruits are watching.
On the move, wide open inside the 30. Tommy Maher all the way inside the 15, and a first down for the Rams.
Timeout on the field for injured defensive player.
Curry does an excellent job of getting away and avoiding pressure and stepping up in the pocket. Again, this is all good, but it comes against the backdrop of a play that probably should have had him bounced out of here because of what he did. And I just don't like the idea of that being buried behind these excellent plays that he's making subsequent to that very ugly act.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been having, under the circumstances, hanging in there a pretty good game considering his first start as the quarterback for the Rams. And Jeremiah Irby was shaken up on that play. Sherrod Smith is in. Time. A one-handed grab by Rocky Beers. He's down around the 5-yard line.
That guy's a beast, man. That guy's a ball player big time. He has a way of hauling in the ball, controlling his body, understanding when you get around that red zone, that green zone area, he has a different mindset about the way he plays the game. I mean, look at the concentration on this big guy.
7 catches for him, and he's nearing 100 receiving yards. He does have a touchdown catch. Jeremiah Irby is back out there for the Broncos. The pass caught, dropped. in the hands of Kennard, who couldn't hang on, or he would have scored.
Yeah, Chris, that's twice tonight he let the ball climb on top of him. What do I mean by that? A good receiver, even though he's a running back, will pluck the ball out and extend his arms, right? Even if it caroms, at least you have a chance to double clutch it. We've seen that happen with some of their inside receivers tonight. One did it 3 times, but you've got to be able to extend your arms, soften the blow, and if the ball is still coming hot, you'll have a second opportunity to try to haul it in.
A yard for a first down, 6 for a touchdown. That's Beers moving around. Pass is caught. Touchdown Rams. Tay Lanier. With this extra point, you're talking about a 2-possession game all of a sudden.
Absolutely, and again, they pick up the blitz, does an excellent job, but it's a moot point because the ball is in Lanier's hands. It's out and read quickly by Curry, and it's another score.
Point after.
Wow.
Is good by Hankins.
Timeout.
A turn of events in more ways than one. Getting a little spicy out there. Fun moment here moments to go in the fourth quarter. That's Blitz, the T-Dog since 2021, runs out, grabs the tees and brings it back, but racing against his sister, who is named Bourbon. And Blitz is going to retire after this game. Also collects baseball bats. It was really a great black lab that is well trained. And that's Bourbon, his sister, who's going to take over the job. It went to the wrong one, so just a little bit of training there before she gets the job full time.
Bourbon, huh?
Bourbon.
That's neat.
Bourbon taking advantage of the shot. After that onside kick, they try it again. This time, Cameron Bates is all over it. And still plenty of time. Just over 9.5 to go. And 2 possessions. But can the Ram defense stop Boise State?
But you got to go back to the inflection point when it all happened. It keeps coming back to Curry, spitting on another player, and then Tyson Summers allowing him to stay in the game. This is going to be something that will be revisited far after this game is over with.
The run game has been dominant. Sire Gaines is the back. And that's a strong first down run inside the 44 of Colorado State.
Yeah, that's a heavy level run right there, man. Sire Gaines is showing he's got some ability. You know, it's supposed to be low man wins. It's supposed to be physics. That guy was probably a little bit higher in the shoulders, but he got underneath him and still got plus yards.
Look at those numbers, 130 rush yards. He's got a couple of touchdowns. He's averaging, that comes out to over 7 a carry. He stays in the game, and he's had to share the rush attempts with Malik Sherrod and Dylan Riley. Try to get the first, and look at him glide and get it down to the 39-yard line.
And one of the other things he does, he follows his lineman too. You're going to see the left or the offside guard pull from here. Chris does a nice job of kicking out, and he finds a space inside of that. I mean, not only can they run with speed to the edge, but they also do a great job of allowing their scheme to free them themselves. Great guard play here.
Well orchestrated run game. The yards keep piling up. Well, 217 rush yards in this game for Boise State. Dylan Riley has had a 200-yard game himself against UNLV. But this is Sire Gaines time.
So they will use their guards, and then occasionally they'll switch things up and use the tight end to wham block. So watch the tight end come this time, and he becomes the replacement wham, and then inside of that. So they can affect that type of edge play with a guard, a tackle, or a tight end, and that flexibility is what's allowed them to dominate at this point in the game.
Yeah, you hear about a 4-minute offense, Spencer. Here they started this with 9, but it's a 2-possession advantage. So if you chew up yardage and get a few more points, you're accomplishing the same kind of thing. And the Rams having trouble stopping this ground game. Gaines again.
I'm telling you, he's always moving forward, man.
Yeah, got the first down. At least they're pointing his progress. Yeah, they're moving the chain, so he got it.
Now, and again, give him credit. Tyson Summers' defense shut down that trap. It was working 2 times in a row. Gaines now with 146 on 21 carries. They shut the trap down, and then Gaines had the instincts to find something back. There was not a hole. So these backs, utility, man, they're impressive.
Yeah, putting his numbers up in the rush yardage, it's like the tote board at a telethon. They just keep going up. I might leave him up there and watch him keep rising.
Nice.
And the clock runs under 6.5.
This is a clinic right now. And again, so if a team gets hot for whatever reason, ill-gotten gain, the quarterback spits and all that other stuff, the one way to negate that is to pull the ball out of their hands and then get physical and just march the ball down the field, steal time off the clock.
I know that's 5 straight run plays. It feels like 15, but they ran, if you remember, I think it was a San Diego State game where they ran a 22 straight or more than 20 straight plays running the football. And that's the confidence they have in their line and their backs as Malik Sherrod comes in.
Nice.
And there he goes. Sherrod to the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos. And he's got 2 tonight. Good night. 40 on the board.
And partner,
that's what they do.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Here comes the trap block again with the tight end, right? He's in short motion. He's going to end up kicking out on the outside. The back is going to run underneath that inside. I'm telling you, he's got the corner and he's got the speed to put you in his hip pocket. And there's nothing that Jake Jamalojevic could do about it. He's gone.
And they're going to go for 2. Boy, they grind, and then he pops it loose from 24 yards out.
Timeout on the field. Boise State, their first timeout of the half.
Looks like he's saying, come on back. Boise State's going to use a timeout. They wanted to go for 2.
That's the way to take a win out of the sails of a team that was trying to revive itself.
And I think they used the timeout because the play clock was running down. And they didn't want to have a penalty to back them up. So interesting to go for 2 here. I mean, you're up.
Yeah, well, remember now, the context determines, if not influences, your strategy. If you're in a beauty contest, those points can make all the difference in the world, man, at the end of the day. It's a log jam.
That's a good point in the big picture of things. But a 19-point lead, and that exceeds what the Broncos, who were favorites in this game, if they can keep that kind of distance, as Max Cutforth looks at the play that he's got to work with to try and add to it. Sherrod is in at running back. Throwing, and it's a slam dunk. They get 2. That's Cameron Bates. And they double up the Rams. 42-21. Nice play by
Timeout on the field.
Max Cutforth on the move, strong arming it in. 5:48 to go in the 4th. Tomorrow, a Fox NFL doubleheader. The Vikings taking on the Packers. Other regional action. And then America's game of the week, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. What tremendous defense the Eagles have, taking on Dak Prescott on that explosive Cowboy offense. Check the local listing for the games in your area and enjoy the NFL on Fox. Boise State over 40 points for the 6th time this year. Christmas coming early.
Well, I'm telling you, they put a gift in this one right now. 40 spot up there and got the extra points. 42 now.
A short kick. Rocky Pierce does everything up to the 42-yard line. Here's the updated Mountain West standings. And San Diego State, they're playing San Jose State, and that game will follow us. New Mexico won earlier. They have the tiebreaker at the moment over UNLV, but you see that the Broncos have to win to get into a partial tie, and then there's various tiebreakers that still have to be sorted out. But if they do their part, they could be in the mix to try and get in that conference championship game and maybe go through for a Mountain West three-peat. It's a long way to go in a short amount of time. He's still in there, and he gets away. Phelps had a shot at him and hit him, but Curry stayed on his feet to unload the throw.
Yeah, Bourne's got in there, as you said, and the pressure was coming deep. He comes from depth, and they got a little scissor stunt. They just twist in responsibilities, and of course, Bowen Phelps got him in the end, man.
And there is a flag. This may be intentional grounding. I think
there's no foul for intentional grounding. Number 10, the receiver, is in the area. Second down.
Well, they should look for number 81, Rocky Beers, wherever he is. A career high game for him. 7 catches, 94 yards and a touchdown, and tying the school record for touchdown catches in a season at Colorado State. Deep sideline throw and intercepted. Jeremiah Irby has his second of the game, and he's working his way back across midfield and down to the 41. Here comes a flag, but the pick is good by the Bronco defense.
Well, I'm telling you, man, this Irby kid has been all over the place, and this flag comes well after the interception. I mean, how many turnovers have this kid been responsible for tonight?
Well, he lost the fumble, and he's now thrown 2 interceptions.
Great job of seeing that ball.
During the return, well below the waist, number 65, the offense. 15 yards to be added to them, the run, automatic first down.
It was on Philip Ocon, the center for the Rams.
So let's see big fella go down a little bit too low.
Wow.
Below the waist. That was definitely low. But that guy right there, man, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery tonight. That's a Kalen Bullock kind of day, man. Next level.
All 3 takeaways belonging to him. And Curry on the other side responsible.
Another skull on the pole.
That defense will scare you. He's played a heck of a game. Came out throwing with great success.
And I think that early confidence is actually what constitutes a growth spurt for him, man. They needed him to show early that he could do what he did, because I think it opened the door for the run game.
Boise State, their second timeout of the half, 30 seconds.
Because now all of a sudden you got to defend the passing game, and then when you deploy numbers for that, compromises your run stopping ability.
Boise State has used a timeout, and I thought it was a little cool temperature wise, but I guess for the folks here in the 40s, they can handle it. They're ready for the holiday season. And while we have a minute, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, you and your family, for watching and enjoying some college football on FS1 and Fox and NFL around the country. And I think that, the chance of Madsen coming back, he had that lower leg injury, and they're hopeful that he could be ready for the Utah State game and or a conference championship or bowl game. But certainly Max Cutforth, whatever hesitation or doubts anybody had.
Well, he's acquitted himself well. There's no question about it. But I think the return, speaking of reclaiming things, this north end zone is looking pretty good right now. They had all the guys in the orange hats on the far side of the field. They're going to have that north end zone just load seating, all those high-level dollars, man. They got the NIL thing working. And you got to find ways to bring revenue in this place.
And you got a redshirt sophomore to build around. And some of the reserves are in as they try that ball. Now, wanted to make sure that Yeah, the hard hat crew.
Yeah, there you go, man.
They don't get to take a night off. Well, that's sort of getting a night off, right? If you have to work construction, why not do it when you can watch a football game? Sounds like a job you and I could get.
Look at them. These guys are enjoying it, man.
Yeah, that crane we saw earlier, the fact that it's right there on the spot. They want to move this along, and we mentioned a newer blue field, new turf. This one's worn a little anyway. I think they'd admit that.
That's their version of Tightwad Hill, I think.
So when they got the ball back after the Rams got to within 2 possessions, they just ran it down their throat. And Sherrod dashed in for the touchdown and pretty much put this game on ice. Took the momentum out of Colorado State after they battled back.
And that's what you want to do. You know, we talked, Chris, you and I, about what constitutes balance now. And in talking with Coach Danielson, it's not about running an equal amount of time with your pass game. It's about being able to do what you need to do when you need to do it. And they're needing to run the ball. Still possession and time off the clock.
This is Seth Knott, the redshirt junior from Bishop Kelly High School here in Idaho, Meridian, Idaho. And they brought him in to give him some work. He got the first down. All of his 7 carries came in the first 2 games against Eastern Washington and Appalachian State. Coming into this game, he has played in 5 other games, but without a touch. But nice to get a local guy in along with the local guy, Max Cutforth.
No question. I mean, those local roots go a long way for a program like this in particular.
He's his first team All-Idaho as a senior in high school. And has showed some tough runs here when they're trying to work the clock.
And you can bring those guys in late when you have 3 running backs perform as well as they did, you know.
State, the 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Broncos used their final timeout. Unless there is some kind of miracle here, they'll be on their way to 7-4. And the Pac-12, it's interesting because we talked about the turf being replaced because the new logo that will be required, as they have Utah State on the road before this regular season wraps up. That'll be next year as a group of teams head to the Pac-12. I mean, going back, we were talking about Colorado State being in what was the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference. And then, of course, the Mountain West. And when this conference was established, boy, Boise State has really dominated, made the most of it, and hope to take that forward.
Nice vision.
Not still fighting hard inside the 10-yard line. I mentioned the teams just to help you get ready. Pac-12 for 2026, along with these 2. You've got Fresno State, San Diego State, a couple of the teams at the top of the Mountain West at the moment, and Utah State, who the Broncos will finish up with.
Yeah, and Colorado State, of course, the midseason move. Jay Norvell no longer there. They want to go in the conference clean, and I think the thing is it's an inflection point for them in their program going into this new conference. I think it was a 2-year dispensation they got when everything kind of fell apart. Of course, the Big Ten acquiring UCLA and USC. I think things changed, and so they're going to try to make a go of it.
Not easy to keep track of. And look, they're rooting for the local guy. He's in! Seth Knott! He will not be denied, and he gets the touchdown for Boise State. The Idaho kid. And both Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines, Spencer, they were running down the sideline to celebrate.
How about that, man?
The effort from Seth Knott.
And that's what you love right there. That camaraderie is there, man. And I think it's nurtured, right? The coaches allow those 3 guys to get in there. You got one of them that's got over 150, right close to it yards. And then the backup to the backups to the backups. All of a sudden get in the end zone, man. That tells you something about that room. It's special.
The extra point is an exclamation point. 49-21. High scoring. The Mountain West enjoying this.
That's great stuff right there, man.
And there's when the rest of the team comes running. There's Riley and Gaines.
Look at that, man. And those are the first, second, and third, and fourth team backs all congratulating one another. That's what you look for.
Yeah, and why this highlights the depth of Boise State, even with some of the injuries they've had. Well, it really exposes, too, the Colorado State situation in terms of playing 48 different lineups of players. And the leading rushers of this game, look at that. The three of them needed a breather. so they went with Seth Knott.
The distribution of production right there tells you something. These are meaningful yards right here, right? Gaines gets the lion's share of it, but those other two, nothing slouchy about 72 yards, 56 and 25 if you're not. Wonderful job.
Well, it was close early, and then the Broncos busted out in front, and then a rally from Colorado State in the fourth. But then back to the ground game, and the Bronco defense dug in. And now it's just left to count down 2 minutes and 29 seconds. It'll be a touchback. You wonder if Taj Bullock, the backup quarterback to Curry, would get an opportunity here.
Yeah, I think you're in a position where you can do that. I mean, I think it's the right thing to do.
But they're going to leave Curry out there, who's 25 of 43 pass attempts, 3 interceptions. 2 of them went to Irby. And he lost the fumble.
Let's see if they still continue to pressure. Here comes a blitzer, scissor stunt.
Lloyd Avant. It's been that kind of game and season for Colorado State. Travis Anderson making the play. Reserves in on defense as well.
Yeah, these safeties have really played well. You know, we talked about Buck Benefield and Cole Miller and company, but Travis Anderson was the guy. He's third on the depth chart, and then at 38, he got in there and made a play.
And he is sacked again. Trying to spin out of it, he could not, as Curry goes down.
That back judge saw a flag, so they're going to take a timeout. There's going to be a flag on this play, too.
Check out that flag.
Holding number 31, defense, 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down. Timeout on the field.
Cole Miller called for the infraction, the reserve defensive back, and a fresh set of downs for Colorado State at the 2-minute mark. Outstanding program here at Boise State as the Broncos put up 49 on Colorado State.
Barry Swift used to say, let's hang a half 100 on them, boys.
Well, they're close. And Darius Curry, the freshman from Long Beach, controversial now in his first start for the Rams, is still out there and still firing. And Rocky Beers reaches up and grabs it. There's a flag down. He catches it and goes down inside the 35 of the Broncos.
Yeah, we've been justifiably critical of this quarterback for a decision he made, Darius Curry, but well, this kid stays in the pocket. Watch him stand tall at 5'10" in the pocket with all that trouble around him. I'll tell you, he has no fear.
Pass interference, number 81 offense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
A push off, and that'll take away his big catch. But what a game he's had.
Yes, he has, man. That guy right there is a baller.
Fighting to the finish.
Look how sinewy he is. He's got those long levers, man, and the fluidity.
Think of those, some Colorado State, former players that went on to the NFL, like, Trey McBride, we mentioned the Arizona Cardinals, Lawrence McCutcheon, you go back with the absolutely. LA Rams, right? Joey Porter and Shaq Barrett, Al Bubba Baker, Torrey Horton. It's a good program. And he gets away again. Throws low and incomplete. He does have that overused phrase, escapability.
Yep, he does, and he can throw back across his body and do some of those unconventional throws. Yeah, so like some of the guys at the next level. There was a guy at Texas Tech many years ago that you recall that became pretty good. The Kansas City Chiefs about doing that, throwing across his body. You know, you don't have to have a proper platform, but Patrick Mahomes was excellent at it. Curry's got some of that same ability.
Wow. That's quite a compliment.
Well, I didn't say he was Patrick Mahomes. I just said he's got the ability. You know, not everybody can be running full speed one direction and throw it back at a 45-degree angle.
And you saw a lot of Mahomes in college. Back then, we didn't know how great he would be.
Absolutely. You know, I think the thing about him was, you know, the game was evolving at that time, and everybody was trying to figure out how to deal with these spread formations. And I remember Chris pointedly, we were redefining the game at that point in time, and it wasn't nothing uncommon to give up 300 yards. So what constituted good defense was shifting at that point, mainly because of the creativity of the quarterbacks.
And it's amazing that, you know, he has been as durable as he has been.
This kid is elusive, man.
And knocked down at the 35-yard line after trying to make something happen.
The thing he's going to learn real quickly, though, at this level, guys are really fast, and once you clear that initial line of scrimmage, you start darting, you better get vertical up the field, because the people you just passed are going to continue to be turning around and coming back, and so they've got great recovery speed.
You talked about Eric Chenander, the defensive coordinator, early in this game, and his group, you know, some of the reserves are in now, but they have developed. He's had to. There's kind of a mix-up on that play as the pass is incomplete. Remember, he talked about he was, you know, upstairs and he wanted to come down. I thought it was interesting. He said, "I want to be down on the sideline. I want to be around the guys. I want to look players in the eye, and I want them to look in my eyes, so that we communicate and are direct with each other on getting better at what we do."
Chris, you're raising a great point, because the question is, why do that? Well, it's because of the youth. It's because of the inexperience that they have there. And his defensive back coach, Damian Warden, has done a wonderful job of helping him fashion those groups on the back end, particularly the cornerbacks. And they have a new level of communication. So being able to look them in the eye when you're trying to see how they're responding to instruction, if they get frustrated, what do you need to do to attenuate your engagement with them? All of that is something you need to do when you have young players in those positions.
Some of those reserves were in when Colorado State rallied, and this will be the finish. An outstanding explosion of the run game and a Max Cutforth performance at quarterback that'll give this program a lot of confidence. For Spencer Tracy, this is Spencer Tillman, thinking of the great actor. I'm Chris Myers and our entire crew. The Broncos win big, 49-21. Our live coverage now. Let's go to San Jose State and San Diego State.